I would have worn a diaper and then got a trash bag to throw up in. But the fact that she made an entire suit,
you made a onesie.
Yeah, you looked like a flying squirrel,
a shit snuggie.
You guys shit on it, but it
no, you shit on it.
All right, we're back. We got Arian in studio. Arian's in Chicago right now.
Whoa.
It's good to have you here.
Likewise, brother.
We got Big T in studio as well. We got Billy remotely. We got Mad Dog McKenzie behind the glass. So we're ready to roll. And thank you guys for sticking with us last week. We had to record things a little bit out of order. So it was
I caught another stray.
It was a bit short of a show
on Twitter
Thursday.
that I wasn't in the mood for.
What stray?
This dude tweeting at me, man. They be tweeting at me when I miss shows. Like, I'm just trying to fuck their week over or fuck y'all over.
Which
That's
you are. Yeah.
Okay. But it was your fault. Partially. But, so the dude, this part was your fault. Dude was pissed. He's like, Arian's such a bitch. And I was like, God damn, bro. Like, don't tweet at me with that shit, right? But whatever. So he said, Arian's such a bitch. And he said, because you're lazy and don't want to do the shows, now you make Mad Dog work more.
What did I
to do the extra show. And I'm like, that wasn't even my idea. That was your idea.
Well, your idea was to do the extra show.
I was going to do an extra show.
Also, Arian, I would do an extra show with you any day.
Thank you, Maddie. So fuck that guy.
Yeah, not even, and it's not even a second thought. I'll do a second show with Arian whenever I want.
That's what I'm talking about.
Did you just flip the bird, Mad Dog?
So did Mackenzie. Mackenzie and I both did.
You know what? I blame Taylor.
Brother,
I blame
bro.
Taylor Swift for this
guy.
because Taylor, she's got quite the potty mouth. She likes to swear. She's dropping F-bombs left and right on her new album. And then next thing you know, Mad Dog McKenzie.
She cussing on his new joint?
Yeah, she's basically Eminem.
She's the her level of swearing on her new album is like a 13-year-old who just found out they can use the F word.
Oh, she going in. Okay, so I haven't heard her album, but I heard she was my theory is Kendrick disrupted a tear in the universe. Everybody's dropping diss tracks. Taylor Swift dropped a diss track against Kim Kardashian. I didn't even know they had beef. Chris Brown dropped a diss track against Quavo from the Migos. Kendrick got everybody rapping.
Quavo? Wait,
Say
is
that
it
again?
Quavo?
Yeah.
Quavo. I don't listen to the Migos. I mean, no disrespect, it's just not my cup of tea. But
yeah, Taylor she's feeling
it Quavo?
herself.
I thought it was Quavo.
It's Quavo.
That's for sure
Quavo.
Oh, y'all would know better than me.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like reading after Drake dropped his new diss track, which I guess we can get into, but it said Chris Brown dropped it. I'm like, who's Chris Brown beefing with? Why is he beefing? It was against Quavo.
Quavo.
Fuck, I keep hearing Quavo.
Quavo, that's a cool name.
That's a little, maybe if like the Mexican version of him.
Quavo. So,
yeah, tell me about this Kim K Swifty beef.
Mad Dog?
So,
she
also, I want to make it crystal fucking clear.
Unload.
I want to make it crystal clear. I am sorry for the people who do not like Taylor Swift that are about to hear me talk right now. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, it is.
I don't like
just what it
Taylor
is.
Swift, but do you think?
I know, and I'm sorry if you don't like her. I'm sorry that this is happening.
I'm interested in the beef. Go
Right.
ahead.
So in 2016, this all comes back to Kanye West, and
Doesn't it always?
it always does. And he made a track called "Famous" off of Life of Pablo.
Oh yeah.
And it said, "I made the bitch famous. I feel like me and Taylor Swift might still have sex."
Yep.
And
It's a great song.
I will say, Life of Pablo did a lot for me senior year of high school, but either way,
Didn't like that line too much.
no.
Got you.
Anyways, so that happened, and people were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe." Also, this is off after the 2009 VMAs when he said, Beyonce should have won the award. Flash forward to 2016, he says that in Famous, and then people were like, "What the hell? Like, how? Like, does Taylor not know about this?" Then it comes out that a phone call comes out between Taylor and Kanye and Kim, of like them basically getting the quote unquote approval for that line to be in the song. But it turns out that that whole phone call was edited and released to the public to make it seem like she was okay with all of this.
Oh, wow.
Then it turns out that that really wasn't the case of what happened.
Do we have the original phone call?
Yeah, I can find it online somewhere probably.
Okay.
And then she really was not really into this whole idea. And so then,
I mean, I doubt she would be.
right. Also,
Yeah.
she was, okay, if this is 2016, she was like my age right now. So she was like 25 and like Kanye West is like, hey, can I say that we might still have sex? And you're like, oh God, what the hell do I say to this? So then the original phone call came out and then Kim and Kanye turned against her, specifically Kim. And Kim would tweet all of these things about how she's a snake and that like there was a lot of things that Kim Kardashian was saying that about how Taylor Swift is a snake and how she's
What were the
a bad
allegations?
person.
Because I'm interested. Because Kim Kardashian because I'm by no means a Kim Kardashian fan. I don't keep up with their show.
You don't keep up with those Kardashians?
Nah, I don't keep up with anything like like that. But from what I've seen, she's fairly calculated because she's really good with marketing herself and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
was in my for her to fabricate an entire story like that seems odd to me.
Well, so see now that's kind of where like the Kanye comes into it because Kanye was the one who obviously wrote the song and had all of those things, but Kim basically obviously like defended Kanye because they were married at the time and basically went after Taylor for being like, I actually didn't really appreciate him putting that line in the song, and then she basically just stood by her man and tweeted that she's a snake and all of this stuff. And she basically had the whole general public turn on Taylor Swift with this. And Taylor Swift became like a recluse for like a year after that. So because everyone hated her and the general public was like, actually,
Poor
yeah,
Taylor.
fuck Taylor Swift. So then she wasn't seen for a year.
So Taylor put out the original audio?
I don't think it was Taylor Swift that put it out. I think someone else did. I can't remember.
Taylor definitely
She
gave the
recorded
audio
it then.
to
Yeah,
somebody.
she
Right.
recorded it.
So, but yeah.
She
so,
can't have her fingerprints on that.
yeah.
See,
The
this is why I land on this. Both parties are guilty. If you're recording conversations, it's just bad.
Bad
it
vibes.
was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
Kim and Kanye had it where it was like a film crew was filming it.
That's even worse.
Yeah. So then Taylor Swift basically went away for like a year because everyone was like, yeah, actually we're on Kim's side, fuck Taylor Swift. And then Taylor Swift kind of took the snake nickname that Kim Kardashian gave her and made it her own like brand. And now years later, this song came out on Friday called Thank You Amy.
That
and
is some
KIM
Eminem shit, though, isn't it?
is capitalized.
I am whatever you say I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she came out with a song called Thank You Amy, but the K, I, and M in, Thank You Amy are capitalized. So obviously it's about Kim. And there are a lot of points in the song where it is directly pointed at Kim Kardashian. But then, whoa, spin zone, Kim Kardashian might be a red herring for Karlie Kloss, which is a whole nother thing that we don't need to get into right now.
Correct.
But Karlie Kloss is a supermodel. They used to be best friends. We'll worry about that one on a different day.
So Taylor Swift just came out this new project just shooting.
Yes.
On that one song.
On that one song.
Yeah.
And then her shooting on the rest of the album is about Maddie Healy, who is a white British man in a band.
Okay.
That she used to date.
That she dated
Okay.
on and off for 10 years, we learned. But
Gotcha.
so that's a whole nother thing. She kind of came out and was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But then it was like also just this one little thing, fuck you, fuck you, Kim Kardashian, still.
There's no songs about being in love with Travis Kelce?
There are a couples. There are a couple. But he's new into the like cinematic universe of Taylor Swift. So
The cinematic universe of Taylor Swift.
the songwriting universe of Taylor Swift. So there's like
She had to make sure it wasn't because I would imagine she wrote most of these songs
before.
like last year
Yeah.
ish. And then it was still too new, so she's like, I don't know if this guy's earned his stripes to be on.
Yeah, he's
on my
earning
album.
his
Yeah.
Got you.
stripes. That's exactly how it is.
Okay.
But most of her album is about this Maddie Healy guy who she's had this like on and off relationship with for 10 years. And that wasn't really made to the public until this. So that's what most of it is about. And then a couple are about her breakup that she went through before Travis. And then there's I would call it 3 songs, right, Mackenzie? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that are Travis Kelce coded.
Okay, I got a question for you.
I do too.
You go first.
Mine? Okay. Is she toxic, bro?
I have no experience being with Taylor Swift. I don't know.
Well,
I'm just saying, I'm
thing
just looking at her track record. She's known for, and this is, I don't, like I said, I don't listen to Taylor Swift, so I'm just genuinely curious. like most of her songs, or she's known for like breakup songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like fuck you songs, basically. And she's shooting at Kim, she's shooting at dude, she's shooting. So she be taking a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of toxic.
So I think the thing about her is she tells you that she's toxic.
Okay.
Yes. She
So
is not
she-
shying away from that
Yeah,
fact.
she's got a bunch of songs. Anti-hero,
Yeah.
Anti-hero
Mhm. Yep.
would be one that comes to mind where she tells you like, hey,
I'm a bad guy too.
I'm a bad guy. I can be a bad guy. On the new album, she has one where it's like, who would be afraid of little old me?
Yeah.
Well, you should be.
Yeah.
She admits that she has these toxic
Yeah.
qualities to her, which I think makes her better as an artist, where she's
I think toxic people make the best artists. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong. I was just
Kanye.
100%. One of the most toxic people of all time. One of the greatest artists of all time. Absolutely.
Yeah, there are even a couple on here because there's 31 songs on this album, Arian. There's a lot of ground to cover.
There's 30. That's
It's,
too many
it was
songs.
a, it was a, no hold on. It was a
this is
secret. It was a
not-
secret double album. So
See-
it's like it's like basically side A side B.
Vehemently against long albums.
Oh,
nowadays.
I agree.
I'm not when it comes to Taylor Swift.
I'm all for a body of work. Like I don't like my favorite artists right now. I would not want to hear 31 songs from you.
Yeah.
I want to hear a body of work that is a cohesive project, that is woven together, that makes sense. I don't hear 31 songs.
31 songs is too many, and it detracts from your fandom of that person because you
Yeah.
can't get as invested in each song as you would if it's
Exactly.
like
No,
10,
I
11
31
songs.
songs is crazy.
So-
I disagree. I vehemently disagree.
You can't appreciate each individual song as much if there's 31 of them.
it will
You-
take me
you
longer than
can-
usual to
You get
actually.
so much more out of
break it
the
down.
album. You discover songs that you like overlooked originally, like 2 years later. And you're like, wow, this song's sick. Like American Heartbreak by Zach Bryan had like close to 38 songs, I think. And like I just listened to Tisha Mingo, which is something I totally overlooked the other day. And I was like, this song's awesome.
So then why not do 12 songs 3 times over the course of like 9 months?
And you get that exact same experience of
No,
Correct.
finding these songs later.
Each album is a new experience. Like
No, because you want it now. Give
But
them-
you
talking
just
about-
said you
see-
can't consume it now. You consume it months and years later.
right, but it's like ordering a ton of food and having leftovers for like the next week.
yeah, the leftovers suck.
What?
Yeah, that's objectively worse when you could just
comparative
order
to
food
the hot-
twice
yeah, it's
when
a-
it's good.
Well,
think
you won't, but
there's
then you don't have to
two
pay a
foods that may
delivery
be
fee
better.
twice.
Pizza may be better leftovers.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
it's
there are some that are better.
chicken can be like fried chicken.
I don't agree with that.
Man,
at all.
cold fried chicken.
No.
The next day.
No.
Cold fried-
Have you tried it though?
Cold fried chicken can
I don't
be,
think so.
it can
Okay,
be very good the next
try
day.
it,
It can also be awful the
It
next day.
could, but it also could be good.
Cold? I don't know.
Just try. Just try.
I trust you.
Order
I
some,
don't- I
order some
don't-
chicken. Let it sit in the fridge and then just eat it. Don't put it in the microwave. Eat it
I
cold
don't
the next
know,
day. I
man.
promise that shit is smacking.
It's surprisingly good sometimes,
It's
but it can be awful. It can be like dog shit other times.
if the skin is soggy,
Yeah.
dog shit. But if it's still crispy, bro, I'm telling you that
I
shit
would
is good.
I would
bro.
say that it's better when it's hot though. Wouldn't you rather have
Yeah,
hot
you
with
might
crispy
be
skin?
good, but I'm saying it can be better. But
Yeah.
but more oftentimes the point is, food is better hot.
Yeah, I
Right.
think
new.
Exponentially.
because if I get an album from my favorite artist, I dive into that album. I listen to all the songs many times, and I become focused on those, whether it be 8 to 14 tracks that are on there.
That's a great
And then
pocket. That's a great pocket.
and then
for it to-
if you have 38 songs, wait a little bit, put another album out, let me
Even
digest
better.
that,
even better.
and then I'm gonna focus my energy on those songs
100%.
as opposed to like letting some fall by the wayside.
And as an artist, you can get more spin because like you can market it entirely differently. Like I said, each album is an experience. So like I love conceptual albums, right? And it's why like when you look back at like a rap, a lot of like the classic albums are conceptual albums. They have like a theme that's interwoven throughout the entire thing. And most really great albums that stand the test of time have that cinematic theme to them.
Mhm.
And so I don't know, as an artist, like a lot of the times it feels like people just make songs to make songs, and it sounds sonically similar, so they feel it belongs on the album. But to me, the best albums are very, brevity. Like brevity is the soul of what Shakespeare said once, and it's like that's the best part of albums. It's just like this little pocket, like she said, the cinematic universe, like a little universe that they pull you into, and then we move on.
Yeah.
I love that.
So with Taylor Swift for this one, I will say my 2 cents is that, so it's a double album. We didn't know about the second half. So the whole marketing of it was these first 16 or 15 songs. So you're like, okay, This is the album. And then at 2 a.m., it was like, just kidding. There is a whole nother album. So that was the whole of it. I think.
So it kind of was. You had to enjoy the first album for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then
Like
she dropped the second one
like
2 hours
legit.
later.
I listened to it on Thursday night, like when it dropped, and I
Where
was
did you listen to it?
in my house.
Like what system? Was it headphones? Was
It was on my like Alexa. Sorry if you're listening and just turn your Alexa on, but it was on my Alexa, and I have a pretty small 1-bedroom apartment, so if I'm putting on my Alexa, it's pretty much surround sound.
I have a pet peeve with music consumers. When y'all listen to music, it's not everybody, but I notice that some people do this. When a song drops or an album drops, people will listen to it from their phone speakers
Yeah.
and start to judge it.
Yeah.
And you're like, as somebody who creates music, that's beyond disrespectful because there's so much that goes into the nuances of all the little. Get the best speakers you can. Get the best headphones. Cars are notoriously great for listening to new music on because it has the surround feel that it was created for.
Yeah.
And so like, if you like the music, just like respect it enough to like listen to it on a great device if you can. Not everybody's privy to, but if you can, respect it. Listen to it with some headphones, good speakers.
When you put it on a phone, there's so much that goes into recording music where they pan the audio to the left and to the right speaker that gives it that feel. Like it gives it the entire vibe of the song is changed by where the sounds are coming from. When you listen on a speaker, it's just like they're on a phone speaker. It's like the same speaker.
I can't listen to anything on my phone. Like if I'm at home alone watching TikTok or listening to music or whatever, I have headphones in. I can't listen to anything on my phone.
I like that.
You know what I got into recently? Fix the Bluetooth on your headphones up with your TV.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's a good vibe.
I do that every night.
You can listen to TV on your headphones while you watch it. And the
welcome
sound experience.
welcome to 2024.
Yeah. No, I just got into it.
No, it's great.
I never even thought about doing that.
Yeah.
It's a great way to watch shows.
Yeah, small flex. In my living room, I have these like super dope Sonos hooked up. So I think the experience is probably better for me.
Probably for you, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a good surround sound.
It's insane.
But fuck the Sonos app.
Why is that?
It's just a bad app.
You have the most takes on apps.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, I do hate apps. I'm at a war with apps. All right, well, good Taylor
You
Swift
should create an
breakdown.
app.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
And just reviews other apps.
It names apps. It just takes the vowels out of them.
Also, this is my last take on it. I will say, I think that this is also a double album. I think she's like, this is everything I have. This is all my dirt on everyone, and now I'm gonna go be happy with Travis Kelce for the rest of my life. I think she got everything out. She just expelled all of her thoughts on everyone else, and then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go be happy with my NFL boyfriend for the rest of my life, and I'll have nothing else to say about these
Till he gets
people
cut,
anymore.
and then she has a diss track against Andy Reid.
Yeah. But I think now it's gonna be like, I think she's like,
She should put one out now based on like the shove in the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Just stoke the fire.
Like why were you not throwing the ball to him early in the game?
Don't be pushing.
I
man.
wish they had lost that game because that story just completely went away.
Yeah.
And I want to see what that story would have become had they lost.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. So I love the album,
But then
and I love it.
if it's happily ever after, then her music's going to start sucking. She's just going to be flexing on you all the time.
I think that's what happened to Eminem.
Yeah.
Hey, he got off drugs, and like his music to me took a. He's still a great penman. Like he's one of the best of all time. But like I feel like I liked him better on drugs.
Yeah.
That's horrible to say.
Yeah, I
That's
hope he's not listening to this because that would probably trigger a relapse pretty hard.
Say that Arian doesn't
Because-
like no shit. Fuck it then.
I feel like that's
Popping pills.
every artist that has gone through rehab, and there's been thousands and thousands of great artists that have had substance abuse issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually like at the core of their fear of going to rehab. It's like, what if it was the drugs that was making me great, and then I'm getting rid of the drugs, and I won't be good anymore.
I do think drugs make us a tad more creative than normal.
So yeah, I think so.
It's not advocacy. I'm just saying, historically, there's a lot of evidence probably to back that up.
You tap into parts of your brain that you wouldn't be able to tap into
man.
otherwise.
Especially emotions, and that's all
Yeah.
art is, right? It's like sonic emotions.
I think that's why a lot of people that end up going to rehab, if they're an artist, they get really into meditation and things like that,
Right.
because that's another way that you can try to tap into more creative parts of your brain.
Yeah.
They just focus real hard on all that spiritual stuff, hoping that's going to fill the gap.
Yeah, I'm sure there's ways to tap into the creative part of your brain, but the easier way is just do drugs.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Yeah, it's the lazy way to be creative.
It's like PEDs. It's PEDs for music. They should.
What if labels started testing for PEDs?
Yeah. God, music would suck.
Music would be so bad.
It'd be trash.
Dude, it's crazy how heroin makes some of the best music. Like so many artists got addicted to heroin.
Yeah. Hendrix.
Well, to this day.
Jim Morrison.
Like all these new kids addicted to opioids.
Pretty much same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bradley Noel, Sublime.
It just makes you feel good.
Juice
man.
WRLD?
This is not average. I should not be saying this.
Yeah. It's a valid point. There's been a lot of musicians with well documented drug issues.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that was a Taylor Swift breakdown. We're gonna get to the Drake, Kendrick, AI thing in a little bit because I'm sure you got something to say on that.
I do got some takes.
I had an initial take, but I'm gonna wait because Hank brought this up in yesterday's part of my take, and he was telling us about the beef, and I was like, yeah, I know. And he's like, how do you know? Like you were talking about King Von the other day. Now you understand the hip hop world. Was Arian talking to you? And then I was like, why would you say that? Why would you think that Arian would be educating me about hip hop, Hank? And he got really nervous. and then he kind of gave his take on it, which I vehemently disagree with. So I want to get, because I think you'll be on my side of this. I don't know if you've posted your reactions to anything that Drake has done, but I have a take on it, and Hank has the opposite take. So I'm going to get him in the studio. Yeah. And I want you and him to discuss, because I think you're on my side, but if you're not, that'll be good too, because I'll get to argue with you about that.
Let's do it.
But yeah, that'll be a little bit later on when Hank comes in. But Big T, I want to kick it to you real quick. You teed off about anything?
I am. I'm gonna let you go, but I absolutely am.
Well, you go then.
Okay. It has to do with first class riders on airplanes.
Okay. Very, very relatable.
It's not, and I understand that. But this is why they pissed me off on the way to Chicago, dog. We flew in, everything's fine. I was on my Apple Vision Pro watching The Fifth Element, which there needs to be a remake of The Fifth Element.
It's a good.
I'm
good
putting
movie.
that out in the universe. Some of the, like, watching the back, some of the parts were extra corn, but like the theme, and I feel like it could just be enhanced so much more nowadays. Will be fire.
I don't even remember the main plot. I just remember there was
love.
There was a lady,
love, man.
And she was being followed and chased by some people, and some guy had to like help her out.
No. Okay, so real quick rundown of the Fifth Element. There's a exponential threat heading towards the Earth, and it's gonna blow up the Earth, and it looks like a little moon, but it's just like what they describe as pure evil. It's gonna go crashing towards the Earth. There is a weapon that in history people all across the universe use to defeat this, which is pure good, and that's how they describe it throughout the movie. The aliens protect this weapon, then they give it to the story down to priests on Earth who pass it down generation after generation. Finally, the stones get hijacked in an attempt to stop the pure evil. They get hijacked. They have to go on to another vessel to go get the stones. They get the stones, put the stones back, and at the end it was all the elements: wind, fire, dirt, whatever, water, all the elements. And in the middle of it was the supreme being, and it was love. At the end of the day, that stops pure evil.
Okay,
good theme. Anywho, watching that on my Apple Vision Pro like a normal citizen, and as we're descending, we're about to leave, or we're about to land. The lady, it's a detention, so like I always pay attention to, in case we're gonna die. I would like to know that. So I listened to the thing, and the lady goes like, because our plane was delayed. She's like, if you guys have if your connecting flight is any one of these cities, raise your hand so that people here know that you can get off the plane first. And so she went through all the cities. Everybody, not one person in first class raised their hand, meaning they have no connecting flights. Mm-hmm. As soon as we land, like, because there's people like, yo, I'm about to miss my flight. You can see it in their face, right? Yeah. As soon as we land, all the first class cabin to get up, and they start taking their bags out of them. I'm like, why the fuck is that? Sit your ass down.
They think they paid more for the tickets,
yeah,
so they're entitled
I get
no
off
matter what.
Oh my God, I was infuriated, bro.
Yeah.
And I was so mad, dog. And then some dude behind me was like, hey, should I get the Apple Vision Pro? I'm like, bro, don't talk to me right now. Like, I was just mad as fuck. I was like, yo, that shit it's just so disrespectful, dog. And it's just the entitlement of the motherfuckers pissed me off, man.
Yeah, so
that's my teed off.
You're a human just like everybody else. If you're in first class,
classism, I'm not a fan of.
Unless you get a little.
But you wouldn't sit coach.
No. If the option is available to me, I'm going to pay extra for the comfort because I've had 14 surgeries over the course of my career, and that shit hurts sitting on something for that long.
Would you ever sit coach if you had to?
I have. I went whenever I fly with my kids, we usually go Southwest because I got a lot of kids and I'm not paying for all them first class tickets. So like, we fly coach, and I be struggling back there. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like, man, you motherfuckers better get a job soon.
It's not like Home Alone. You're up in first class, all the kids back in. There's somebody else.
You can't do that now.
They won't.
They make you, if you buy one first class ticket, like both of them have to be.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I would much rather have a society that valued train rides over planes, because trains are the superior form of travel. I've said this before. But for whatever reason in America, our trains are the ghettos of transportation. We just don't put much money into that transportation. So I would much rather have I would take a first class train ticket over a plane ticket any day of the week.
Yeah,
any day of the week.
When I used to have to travel back from DC to New York, I would always try to do train.
It's amazing
because you just walk on.
Oh my god,
there's like no security really.
It's very chill.
Yeah,
it's just very relaxed. You're not going very fast, and that's the thing with me is like I get nervous on planes, and I just that anxiety. It's just debilitating sometimes. And so when you're on a train, you're moving. It's relaxing. The vibration is relaxing. It's the opposite of me for the trains.
Yeah, I remember you used to have real bad anxiety. You might still do, but it was to the point where like you would arrive in the city, you'd still be kind of fucked up from the plane ride.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time I went to New York, actually, I went from the airport to the urgent care.
Yeah,
I thought I was having a heart attack. It fucks with me. I can't. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a natural thing.
No,
to be flying.
Yeah, right. But anyway, that's my teed off, whatever.
Yeah, so let people off.
Let people off.
Let people get to the
first class entitled pricks.
Your first class assholes is what you are. Big T, what you got for teed off?
I think it was a pretty solid week. I don't think there's anything too bad.
Nothing too bad at all.
Yeah.
What about Tennessee Minute?
Won a big baseball series this weekend. Number 4 Tennessee and number 3 Kentucky. We should have swept them, but we let Friday get away. But we took 2 of 3. Biggest series of the year so far. On the road too.
Huge.
Christian Moore went 4 for 5 with 3 homers yesterday.
Huge.
Yep.
Congratulations. Billy, did you send the sheet over?
You look defeated, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, man. You look defeated.
I'm sick. My political opponents are trying to poison me. No, I literally last night I had the worst food poisoning I've had in years.
Like real food poisoning, like
like
you pooping?
To be honest, it wasn't upstairs and downstairs. It was only upstairs, which was good because usually the upstairs hits first, and then you're like, oh shit, am I about to get hit with the downstairs? But it didn't, so that's good.
Have you guys ever been hit at the same time by both of them?
The worst, dog.
And you have to like try to poop and puke into the like the bathtub.
Worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming. I was Curacao. How do you say that? And I had one of the best steaks I've ever had. It was amazing. And later that night, my stomach was just like rumbling. And then as I'm sitting there, it just came up. And so I was like, luckily I was naked, or else it'd have been all over my pants or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it came, I was like, what the fuck am I 12? What is this shit?
Yeah.
It was wild. And then that night I'm sweating and shivering. It was like one of the worst things ever.
Yeah, it's real bad. What's the move if you got to puke while you're pooping?
Dude, you know what I did?
Do you try to grab the trash can? Do you try
to? That's a good move.
Puke between your legs?
Do you want to hear something really fucked up?
Is that even possible?
I don't know.
I would applaud that if anyone was able to do that.
The risk
reward is not.
You're like shitting and then you're puking on your dick too. So it looks like your dick's pissing puke.
Dude, you know what I had to do once?
That shit nasty, dude.
You take a trash bag, black trash bag, you put 2 holes in it for your legs, and then you tape the holes airtight, and then just You can puke in it.
Wait, how do you have time to cut the bag open?
You made a
I
diaper.
had to go to the ER. I had
Wait,
to go
a
to the
giant-
ER one time. This was when I was younger. This was when I was like 12. I got
Don't call
food
it cat.
poisoning.
Hold
Don't
on.
call it super
You
cat.
were-
one.
So
Wait.
you put your legs into this thing that you puke in, and then you just get the puke all over your legs?
Well, you're also trying. It's also a diaper.
So you're puking and shitting into a giant bag that's
so you're
tied
not-
around
you
your
have
not
to
body?
on
go
the
to the
toilet
ER.
at all?
Hoarding bacteria by your genitals on purpose.
You're wearing a reverse tunic
Dude, you're
of-
you're
of a trash bag, and then you got.
I'll
just-
call it Billy.
no, dude.
of
you
all
can
the things
call
you
my mom.
said.
You can call my mom because it was an emergency. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, if
Not
you
that.
have to get into a cab.
Yeah, I don't know what you do, but it ain't that.
No, but like, no. Think about it. If you
I've
have
thought
to
about
get to
this.
the emergency room, and like, what are you gonna do? Puke in a cab? Puke in someone's car? No. If you're like a mother, you're gonna be like, okay, jump in this trash bag. We're gonna tape the legs so nothing gets out, and we're just gonna.
What
take
did you
to
need to go to
emergency
the emergency room for?
because the food poisoning was so bad that they thought I was going to get dehydration and thought it
So
was like
could you-
salmonella.
So
Like-
could you not have tried to shit and puke and then leave in a break?
Because there was no break. There's
Come
no
on,
breaks.
bro.
Like it was bad.
Sometimes there's no breaks. I would have gone personally with
There's no breaks.
probably.
When you've been
You just
puking-
defecate for hours.
I would have gone
Yeah, dude,
personally
It's
it
with.
not
was
even
4
literally.
hours.
It's not physically possible.
I would have worn a diaper and then gotten a trash bag to
Yeah.
throw up in.
Yeah.
well,
But the fact
where are
that
you
she
gonna
made
get
an
a diaper?
entire suit,
You made a onesie.
yeah, you looked like a flying squirrel.
A shit snuggie.
You guys shit on it, but it
No, you shit on it.
yeah, but like seriously, I mean, it was an ingenious invention by my mother at the time.
I'm not gonna talk about Miss Football. So,
But it got it done. We didn't get any stuff on the car upholstery, and
Did
we
you
got to the
poop
ER.
into it while you were going?
I don't think we did. I don't think it got to that point, but
Were
it
you
was
wearing
just in case.
pants?
Well, we put the pants on over
What?
sweatpants.
Oh, wait, over the trash bag?
Yes.
So,
this is
so wait, all right. You get to the ER.
very hard to
so
believe.
You get to the ER. Is there any puke or shit inside the trash bag at all?
I think there may have been puke. I don't remember that much because I was literally like sick as a dog and like passing in and out basically. And it was just a great emergency situation. Then once we got there, then we readjusted. I was puking into trash bags, but at the time it was like, this is going to make sure you don't like shit all over the
I'm
car.
just confused as to why there was a need to consolidate. Like you literally, if you was gonna do the trash can diaper thing, that's what's up. But why consolidate that?
It's
Just
like
have an extra
puking.
trash bag. Just
No,
have
we were doing
one on
that.
the side. You
We were
said it was
doing that,
one
but just
thing.
in case. There was one thing, and I puked in it once because it was the fastest thing I could puke into.
So you puked down your stomach.
Yes, dude. Look, it's not my proudest moment. I was young. I think I was like 12.
No, Billy, this is funny. Like I'm not.
I know, but
attacking
literally
you.
that's
you're
what I
wearing.
had to
You're
do.
wearing a giant trash bag that you're puking and shitting into down
It's-
your own belly.
How
Yeah.
did you wait? But you said you put pants on over it.
because I put on sweatpants over it, and then
So then all the puke puddles at like your waistline.
well, it was kind
This is a bad idea. Like what are we
Dude,
talking about?
we were just if you don't have diapers and like your 12-year-old son is literally
diapers.
at the
Mhm.
like he's been in the bathroom for 2 hours and he's like getting like sick and just be like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. I was definitely getting dehydrated. I was like puking out like yellow. It was the worst night of my life. Last night was pretty bad, but that was the real worst
Did you
night ever.
did you get any trash bags last night?
No, because it was only upstairs.
I think
just-
Billy. I think he's being poisoned by the powers that be in New York politics. That's what I
Yeah.
think. I think Billy's too deep into the swamp right now, and they're trying to take him out by any means necessary. Also, on that note, everyone's done a great job at not tweeting or posting at the Mike LaPetrie.
Yeah.
Thank you
On
guys
X.
so much.
I went to his
Twitter.
profile, and yeah,
They've
people are not doing that.
They've done a great job at not doing that. But then I realized I messed up, and I don't want this podcast to be responsible for any sort of cyberbullying or making him feel uncomfortable.
I do.
No, I don't, Arian.
Okay.
So that's why I really appreciate people not doing this.
Gotcha.
But I remember I forgot to tell people not to do that on his Facebook page too. So I'm starting to think that people are doing it on the Facebook page.
You forgot to mention
and
that.
I don't want people to do that. And again, you've done a great job at not doing it.
Does
on
he have
Twitter,
an Instagram?
X.
Because we wouldn't want them to.
I don't know.
He deleted his Instagram.
Okay, that's good. That way people can't do that. But on his Facebook page, don't do that either there, because a lot of people are on Facebook that might not be on Twitter or X that would see that and be like, what's going on? So
The boomers wouldn't understand even if it was just a joke. So don't do it on Facebook.
So don't do it on Facebook.
So where you at with your lawsuit, bro?
Oh, huge news as of this morning. We got a lawyer. So I'm saved. I got a lawyer.
Is it pro bono or you paying it?
No, we're paying, not pro bono. There's no pro bono work being done for this campaign. That is illegal. I misspoke if I ever said that. I was meaning to say it was per se. I was per se,
that was illegal, which
means
I'm trying to set him up.
Yeah. I was doing per se work when I filed the petition against Mike LaPetrie's signatures. Basically, we did some investigation and we found out that Mike LaPetrie's address that he put on all of his petitions is not his actual address where he lives. So
how were you able to verify that?
We had some great intel.
All right.
That actually George Santos tweeted it out. George Santos, I don't agree with going into people's personal lives, but George Santos really went in on Mike LaPetrie, which was wild.
You been in contact with George?
He's literally I've had no contact with his campaign as of now. He DMs me and I DM'd him our press email, just like he was like, I have information on Mike LaPetrie, and look, we're we were taking it from anyone trying to figure out where he lived because we couldn't find out where he lived.
It's not illegal. That's not illegal, is it?
No.
All right, well, you good, bro?
Yeah. Also, Billy, I think it's pro se, not per se.
Oh yeah, pro se. I got mixed up. But I was going to represent myself in court tomorrow, and literally last night when I was like on the puking my brains out, I was literally like, how am I supposed to represent myself in court? Like, this is like it was
trash bags, bro.
Yeah,
trash bags. I mean, it's wild.
That is
but
wild.
Basically, I never wanted to get into some stupid legal battle or just trying to get to the ballot. Like, I don't care if Mike LaPetrie didn't put his real residence on his signature petitions. It's just that means that all of his signature petitions under his own sort of merit aren't none of them are valid because they weren't, his residence was not on it. His lawsuit was not at his residence. So
I do care. I do care if he misrepresents.
I feel bad. I literally feel bad because
no, but you didn't do anything wrong, but he's going after you thinking that you won't be able to fight it. He did actually do something wrong.
Yeah. I mean, George Santos, I didn't tell George Santos to do any of this, but George Santos is saying some crazy allegations about him. You can check it out on his Twitter. I'm not going to repeat them. But it's just, this is ridiculous. And the fact that this is the amount of fighting someone has to do just to have a democracy in America.
Okay. So Billy, what's realistic next steps?
Realistic next steps is we're going to court. I think we have a court date. There was a court date tomorrow, but I'm going to be represented by a lawyer. I don't have to go. Then there's another one on Thursday for a different case.
This is wild, yo.
So I honestly, there are certain things about politics that I really hate, and it's suing. Litigation, I think, is cowardly, and now I have to call people up asking for money all the time, which is kind of embarrassing because I feel like I'm begging, but it's literally the only way to keep this going.
I got a nice phone call from Billy on Thursday, just saying, listen, the campaign, we need to fight this in court. It was actually a very professional phone call from Billy. At one point, he asked me if I was recording it, which, again, that'd be a scumbag move. But if it had been recorded, people would be surprised at how professional Billy was on the phone. He's being very, very careful. Very careful.
Dude,
So
I mean,
I am Arian and I are now donors to Billy's campaign. Arian did it because he shot at our Macrodosing got on Fox News, and I did it just because Billy called me up and was embarrassed and asked me for money. So
thank you so much for your donation. It really means a lot. It helped me get a lawyer.
we're
so
Billy
that
boosters.
So I can fight this crazy situation. But
Now that I'm
basically,
one of your
I didn't donate to you,
lobbyists.
Billy. I donated to democracy.
yeah,
I
yeah.
need some legislation passed, brother. So that's how this works.
Yeah. So good luck, Billy. Keep us posted on how things are going. But I look forward to you somehow.
It might. It's either all going to be over by next week, or literally we might. There might be no Republican in like who's going to make it on the ballot. Like we might disqualify Mike LaPetrie. Mike LaPetrie may disqualify us, and then we're all just like, assured destruction. Like we both just Mexican standoff and we killed each other.
I think you should probably stop using that.
I don't know.
That is what no, what's wrong with the Mexican standoff?
And there's nothing wrong with a Mexican standoff. But as a Republican white man saying Mexican standoff at every chance you get,
You do love saying
you
that.
say it a lot.
But
He does
how
love
else do you
saying it.
describe? How else do you describe
A
him
standoff.
pointing a gun at me?
A standoff. Why does
Well,
that have
you
to be a
had
Mexican
just
one?
described it, mutually assured destruction. You had already said it.
Or
Yeah,
just
well,
a standoff.
That's after the standoff is over. Is the destruction?
Okay, it could just be a standoff. Why does it have to be a Mexican one?
Well,
I'm not offended. I'm just saying, as a political candidate, I've seen racial idioms be used in different ways to discredit.
I just think it's
things,
cooler.
Hey, it's your campaign.
Fair
man.
enough.
I just think it's like literally like I'm picturing in my head like I have a gun pointed at him, he has a gun pointed at me, and it's high noon, and
They're Mexicans.
everyone's pouring out the saloon, and
The
we may
Mexican
be in
saloons.
That's
Tex
in
Mex.
Juarez.
Yeah, like we're in some sort of like border town.
Why can't it just be a standoff?
Border. Yeah, why does it have to be a Mexican standoff?
Well, every town's a border town now. But
Yeah, see, so, but no, I mean it's just disheartening, and hopefully we're able to get through it, and
I think
just
so,
drop
that's
the
it.
suit, Mike, and this all goes like literally. If we both are on the primary ballot and we duke it out with democracy and best man wins, I will support you if you beat me. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but I would, because it's the respect that you had to like actually duke it out like men in the democratic process instead of this just ballot blocking. Like I will literally support you and be like, hey, Mike went through the gauntlet, because he's getting beat up right now, and he's wearing
I don't know
it.
that I can support him. I'll say this: if he beats you, I will not be supporting Mike LaPetrie in the general.
I'm not supporting anybody who wins this. The Republicans. What the fuck?
I don't think.
well,
I'm-
you did financially support.
I was
one.
making good on a bet. That's how good my word is, dog. I'll cross party lines to keep my word.
I don't think I'm going to support
Respect
anybody
that.
in any election this year. I'm going to be like Patrick Mahomes or The Rock.
Can y'all
I
imagine
think
though?
The Rock's turning, ain't he?
The Rock said he would not be supporting.
He said something about woke culture. I saw that.
He made a statement that was like, I realize now that supporting a politician can be very divisive. And
But he said specifically Joe Biden.
Yeah, and I don't want to be divisive. And basically, The Rock is a great businessman.
Of course.
He's like thinking all day about his money.
Yeah, for sure.
And he is thinking to himself, like, well, I don't want to alienate 50% of whatever my consumer base is by
sure.
endorsing somebody.
Right.
So I think that's what The Rock's up to right now.
Yeah.
Also, if you have to, like, I don't know how anybody could endorse Joe Biden or Donald Trump.
Oh, walk outside, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I will not be endorsing anybody. I'll put it that
Yeah,
way.
I'm definitely gonna vote for somebody, but I don't want nobody on this motherfucker to win. I feel you.
Can y'all imagine though if somehow we get to election night and we have Trump Biden and then Billy Tom Swazi? The stream that night
I'm gonna be
would
refreshing.
they would write stories about.
I'm gonna be refreshing Billy's race so much harder than the
Oh,
presidential one.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable.
I mean, June 25th is the primary. If I'm not on the ballot in New York's District 3 Republican primary, write me in. It'll still count.
Yeah, Billy, you have to get.
Kanye vibes.
Can I ask why we're going through all these lawsuits if you could just have people write you in? Like, why wasn't that the plan from the beginning?
Well,
He wants to be on the ballot.
To be on the ballot, that's huge.
Yeah, you get way more votes. You
Yeah.
can't win as a write-in.
I'm sure, but like,
That would be.
has anyone with 100,000 Twitter followers ever tried running as an exclusively write-in candidate?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Well, yeah, Kanye.
He has more than 100,000.
He was on the ballot though in a couple states.
In a couple states.
Yeah, okay.
I need to
The
start.
ones
I need
where
to get
he's not
bigger
on the ballot,
Facebook before that.
he did not do well.
I'm
as a
sure.
writer.
He only got, it was like 40,000 votes, like nationwide or something like that.
Yeah.
That's actually insane. Like,
So
there's 40,000 people that did that.
yeah, Billy. I agree with Billy. You should try to get on the ballot by any means necessary. That's going to be the way to do it. Your strategy should also be try to get every single high school senior to vote for you.
That's what I'm trying. And people coming back from college, like, once we get through all this litigation, we can actually start campaigning. Like, we're throwing ragers, dude. And all you got to do is register to be
Register to rage, man.
Register to rage.
Register to Republican rage.
Rage the vote.
Yeah. Just literally, like, Dante already agreed, and he will be compensated. He's not doing it pro bono to DJ one of these concerts. So,
Darty the vote.
we're just gonna literally. I'm basically gonna use campaign funds to throw parties, and everyone's invited. It's gonna be sick.
Did he just admit to a crime?
No.
Or is that legal?
No, that's
it's-
legal.
it's legal.
It's
You can-
gonna be for the campaign.
You can
to,
have
like,
rallies.
It's not, you're allowed to have, but they're not rallies. They're parties. We're gonna party. It's like we're gonna have the best house music. The sun's gonna be out. It's spring. It's like it's gonna be fun. And Mike LaPetrie doesn't want you to have that.
He doesn't want you to have fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
Mike LaPetrie doesn't Borg.
He doesn't.
And Billy Football Borgs.
What's a Borg?
I don't Borg anymore.
You remember Borg? You fill up a
A water
water gallon with like a mix of some sort of liquor and
Neo.
Kool-Aid or flavor.
Yeah, we
Borgy
called it
football.
different.
That's what they call
We had
it.
an oil spill. The Q's called it an oil spill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that oil spill.
Yeah.
All right.
What the
got
hell
some
was
more-
in an oil spill?
It's where they just put like a bunch of different liquors in a tub or whatever and drink it.
Like
Jungle juice. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like
Same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to some more stuff here. I found this one really interesting thing in history today that I want to talk about. Or it's a competition that takes place in Cumbria, England. I'm
Oh,
not sure how you
cheese
pronounce it.
rolling?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. The cheese rolling. That's always good for a laugh, though, when they roll that cheese down the hill.
yeah.
So in Cumbria, England, they have the world's biggest liar competition every year, where they bring people from around the world. They get 5 minutes to tell the biggest and most convincing lie that they can. And you can't use props or scripts for anything. They also don't let politicians or lawyers because they're judged to be too skilled at telling lies. So it happens every November at the Bridge Inn in Stanton Bridge in memory of this one guy. His name was Will Ritson, and he lived between 1808 and 1890. He was a pub owner, and he was a big liar, just well known as a lie. He would tell people that, like, if you go to the Lake District, that the turnips there are so big that people can carve them out and store cattle inside them. So he would just like lie about shit all the time. So every year you can go there and try to tell the best lie. And I don't know what you win from it, but it's a pretty cool competition. I would like to go see it at some point. Just a bunch of British people like making shit up. My favorite guy was Johnny Liar was his nickname. John Graham, and he won. He was a 7-time winner because he told a story about a World War II submarine that invaded Britain to capture digital television decoders. So basically inventing conspiracy theories, but saying like it's a lie at the same time. But his theories were so good that people started looking at him and be like, yeah, but what? I know he admitted it's a lie, but what if it's true? So like even though he told people like, hey, this is complete bullshit that I'm telling you right now, some people out there believed it.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lie.
That's actually wild. I've always wanted to do that on this show. We just sit here and we concoct a conspiracy theory. We literally connect the dots and we just sit here and work backwards and create a conspiracy theory.
Remember when I tried to do that at the live show and it didn't really catch on?
Yeah, I forget what your conspiracy was.
It was that the world, the electromagnetic field.
Oh, but you didn't tell anybody you were doing that though.
What?
You didn't tell anybody you were doing that. You were just saying this. You're just
What do you
saying
mean?
it.
Oh, well, yeah, we weren't supposed to tell anyone live on air. It was only supposed to be a secret for people in the live show. People were posting it though.
I don't remember us having that conversation. We talked about
No,
that?
I said, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm going to make up a conspiracy theory and hopefully everyone in the crowd will spread it
I don't remember
across
that.
the
Y'all
internet.
remember that?
It was the last thing we did.
I remember it, yeah.
Vaguely, yeah.
I don't remember him saying he was gonna do that. Damn. That's why I was like, "What are you talking about, bro?"
Wait.
I didn't know. My bad.
Well, I had a ton of
ruined
ideas for the live show.
I ruined your shtick. My fault, homie.
There was
No,
another
no. I mean, now we can talk about it. Like, it was something about the like the Earth was going to start spinning the other way.
Yeah.
Or no. Oh, no. You know what it was? It was that old music sounds good now because the vibes of the Earth, like the vibration of the Earth is the same as it was in the 60s. So people are liking music from the 60s again.
Mm.
Let me look this up.
Something like that. Yeah.
Let me look up my fake conspiracy that I wrote.
Yeah, it's in
Let's
here
just Google
somewhere.
that one. There was another person that won the line competition, the Bishop of Carlisle. He won the competition with his shortest ever speech. He just said, "I have never told a lie in my life," and then he won.
It's pretty creative.
It's a pretty creative.
That's a Nick Terraney vibe.
Yeah, I want to go to the world's biggest liar competition. There's also an annual pun competition in Austin, Texas.
That one sounds fun.
Which I would very much like to attend at some point. If anybody's got to hook up to the pun competition,
Oh,
let me know.
this is actually a pretty good presentation I put together. This makes a lot of sense.
Billy's gunning for this world's biggest liar competition.
You want me to go there so badly and lie my ass off, don't you?
No, I was just saying that by saying what you just said about how good your presentation was.
Well, like the science is there. The conclusion in jumping to it is a little crazy.
So wait, how's the science there if the jumping to the conclusion is all science?
No, so multi-decadal variation of the Earth's inner core rotation. The differential rotation of the Earth's inner core relative to the mantle is thought to occur under the effects of the geodynamo on core dynamics. Okay, so basically the inner Earth, the magma core, has switched rotation. And this is like why like magnetic north moves.
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying that it's now the same as the core was moving in the 70s. And basically we're now the Coriolis effect. We're at the same, so the Earth's vibration are the same as it was during the time of disco. So we're going back to disco because the vibrations of Earth are more similar to the 70s. And that's why disco sounds good and disco type music is getting a comeback now.
I kind of like disco music.
It's come back.
It's high.
Ambient Earth Norse.
It's
ambient Earth noise.
It's the BPM that makes people like it, right? It's all around the same BPM.
Yeah.
ABBA.
It's cool.
It's kind of like similar to your heartbeat, I think.
I don't mind it. It's cool. I feel like 50s and 60s was the heyday of music, mainly 60s.
Yeah, 50s. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like the doo-wop era. That shit was fire.
Doo-wop. There's a lot of weird stuff.
Like 60s was like
60s was great. I would love to have lived in 60s.
Okay, just sent over the
problematic things going on, but I feel you.
But also some good things going on. Some progress.
Moon. The moon.
The moon was good.
We went to the moon.
We did go to the moon. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, 60 was. It would have been interesting to live in the 60s. You can buy a house for $5.
Yeah, like wasn't like Cokes was like 5 cents and shit like that.
Yeah, every guy could buy a house. They gave you a house if you were a guy.
Dude, the funniest thing is Mike LePetri can't buy a house.
That is funny.
Damn, bang on him then.
Broke boy.
No, but like
broke boy. He can't even buy a house. He wants you to send him to the house because he can't afford to get one on his own.
Literally, he has to be a career politician in order to buy a house. That is the situation we're in right now.
Yeah. All right.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out Mike.
What do you guys think
afford
about the
down
WNBA payment?
What I think about
Caitlin Clark's making around $76K to $90K in her 3-year deal.
I think that she's going to make a bunch of money in endorsements too. On top of that,
right?
But when people were breaking down and showing how much NBA players get versus how much WNBA players get, I was looking at the revenues for both leagues, and the conclusion I came to was that NBA players are actually grossly underpaid when you look at how much money, how much revenue the NBA is bringing in compared to how much they pay out in salaries. Like the owners do a very good job of keeping. Obviously, nobody's going to be crying for NBA players and be like, "Whoa, these guys are poor. They're not making any money." But just from a strictly economic breakdown of it, the players could be getting paid more.
I don't disagree with that. I always say, like, if you look at Michael Jordan's value,
Yeah.
he was extremely overpaid, and to this day, he should be one of the richest people of all time.
Yeah, if you look,
underpaid.
Yeah, I'm saying underpaid.
yeah, like if you look at what the Bulls have done since Michael Jordan, and the value of the franchise still being enormous because of the history that he brought to it. Yeah, like the top of the line players, LeBron James is probably a good example of that. He definitely would be in Cleveland. Like if you bring that much value to a city, the artificial salary cap that they have in there for, okay, here's what the max contract is going to be, which is, don't get me wrong, if you get a max contract in the NBA, you're living large for probably the rest of your life and probably your kids' lives, and grandkids are probably happy too. Yeah. But if you just look at how much money you actually bring in, the owners are making a ton of money off.
Yeah, underpaid.
Yeah.
So I always put this argument that there's, I think, two people that changed basketball in a significant way that has never been seen before. One is Michael Jordan, and the other one is Steph Curry. And so, like, even in LeBron's era, I think Steph Curry changed the game of basketball more than LeBron did. But nobody has changed the game of basketball like Michael Jordan. Like, he brought it to a global brand.
You think Steph changed it for the good or for the worse?
He changed it for the good as far as his game is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, he's incredibly talented and fun to watch.
Yeah.
The problem is when you have a bunch of people that think they're Steph Curry,
it's the worst,
and they're not good. That's the most painful basketball to watch.
Oh my God, he's changed 24-hour fitnesses for the worse, for sure.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm tired of these sorry motherfuckers jacking up 40-footers, bro. Like, pass the ball, or at least get your toes by the 3-point line. You ain't Steph, though.
For regular people, absolutely, it's way worse.
That's what I'm saying.
But for collegiate and professional basketball players, he changed it for the efficient. Like, basketball is way more efficient now.
I think they're more, well, so there's an argument to be had that basketball players are less skilled because of the jump from college to the pros is less, right? You hear Kobe used to argue about that. Like, guys aren't being, like, developed in college. They'll just go to college 1 year and go to the pros. So, like, the skill set. But he's made the game stretch more, which made the big men way more skilled than they used to be. So, like, they'll stretch the floor. You can't be a big man and not have at least an 18-footer, and it gets better from there. Like, the best of the best big men can shoot threes. And so he's changed the game for the better. I enjoy watching today's NBA. I know a lot of old heads, like, don't back in my day. Like, I don't know, I think the players are a little more skilled nowadays. Maybe a hot take, but
I think they are. I think skill tends to improve as generations advance. You learn more about the game.
Evolution.
You put wrinkles on it. Yeah.
I think more so it's the circuit. It's the little league circuits below it. So you got like so my son's 10 right now. He in a basketball league. One of my sons, they both play, but one of my sons, and I'm sitting here watching his games, and I go to his games, and my daughter reaches over. She's like, "That's like the number 10 player in the world," and I'm looking at this little kid warming up. I'm like, this 10-year-old is the number 10 player in the U.S. Like, what the fuck? Who's ranking these kids, bro? Like,
if you know anything about kids, like that ranking should change on a day-to-day basis.
100%.
Like if they didn't get enough sleep last night, they're gonna show up and be like the 1,000th best player in the world.
Yeah, it's a wild thing. But that mindset of, okay, now I gotta get my son a trainer. I gotta get him at such a young age. The skill set is only going to develop, faster and faster as far as efficiency is concerned.
Isn't there the angle that the reason why European players are having so much success in the NBA versus American players is that the individual training is like Europe is more team focused when it comes to training, whereas America is more individual focused, and that you have all these guys who can get a bucket, but they don't operate well as a team.
You're arguing that because European players are more
right. Like,
I think
drilling, right? Drilling.
No, I think
you just talked about the personal trainer is an individual who's training. He's working on his own game, whereas Europe has more of a team centric training mentality.
I don't think that's the case. Actually, I think I think it's pretty much the same. And I would argue that the European players that have had success here are very one-on-one based. If you look at Luka, if you look at, they're very they can get buckets. And I I think the changing of the NBA rules also had to do with a lot of European success. So because it's where the Euro step came from, right? It's a lot of finesse over there, whereas it was a very physical game over here, and the NBA has kind of transitioned to a less physical game, and that has been an advantageous change for European players.
I like that take. The only reason why the Europeans are getting in is because basketball's gotten softer.
Yeah, it's a softer game. I think you'll hear old heads talk about that all the time. The rules, there's no hand checking. Like that hand checking shit changed the game for.
Why can't we make basketball more physical? Like literally, this is why I like watching.
I mean, Luka said that. They asked him, "Is it easier to score 30 in the NBA or EuroLeague?" He said NBA by a wide margin.
Yeah. It's like the NFL. They want points.
Yeah, they want buckets. They want buckets, and they nobody emphasizes defense, although they pretend to. And that's the thing that kills me about these leagues and changing the rules is like you pretend like you want kids to care about defense and not highlights. Well, all you do is emphasize offense and highlights. And so to emphasize offense and highlights. And so it doesn't make any sense. Like you're just sending mixed signals. Make the shit about defense. Kids will play defense.
Defense is cool too. Make a block worth a point. That'd be so hard to officiate.
But you're always going to know who won the scoring title. Very rarely, I think, unless you're an avid NBA fan, you're going to know who won defensive
I wish they allowed more room for crash out NBA players, just like psychos. Because those guys I love. I love Pat Bev. I love Draymond Green. Like I'll watch their games just because they go hard.
I like the way
I might be unique.
No, I like them scrappy players too.
Give them 3 technicals before they get kicked out.
Let them maybe bring back fighting. Should we fight? Fighting might be good.
I'm okay with fighting.
I think they should.
I'm good with
should
fighting.
be allowed to square up. No sucker punching.
I think you shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't be kicked out of a game if you squabble. I don't think you should be kicked out. Give them a warning. Give them a flagrant. But let's get back to business.
But have it be regulated like in hockey, where it's like you guys have to stay close to each other. No spilling over into the stands.
And no, it's
one-on-one. Can't jump in. It's one-on-one.
One-on-one.
You know what, I'm going to be, now that I'm thinking about
shoot him to fair fade.
Yeah.
We good. I'm with that.
The bare knuckle, because then you're basically bare knuckle brawling.
So?
Because there's no, in hockey, there is more protection.
Imagine the different takes, though, that people would have on hockey fighting versus NBA fighting.
All the huff going to go away, though. So if I know I got to square up with you, and it's gonna be people circling around, and refs are okay with it, I'm less inclined to be Billy Badass. No pun intended, right? So the fighting might be less because now I got to really box you.
Yeah, and it'd be electric when it did happen.
Yeah,
this is why we should bring back duels in society.
You need enforcers on the team, like. If you have LeBron,
Charles Oakley,
you don't want somebody trying to pick a fight with LeBron, so you have to bring a real tough guy.
Charles Oakley, Larry Johnson, back in my days.
Yeah. You get boxers as like the 12th man at the end of the bench, don't play at all year, but the second somebody comes at your superstar,
running,
it's like we got Mike Tyson on the end of the bench.
Throw them hands.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Arian a mic'd up of hockey players when they fight? Some of them are so funny. They're like, "You want to go?" And then they fight, and then they go to the penalty box. Go, "Hey, go scrap, buddy. Good scrap." And they're just like, "Yeah, it's all good."
That's how you fight. It ain't personal. I love that. I love that.
Keep it on wax.
Keep it on wax.
The waxing is actually fighting on the court.
Yeah.
PFT, wasn't this an app you created where it's like you can find consenting adults to fight each other? Like
if you
two dudes want to scrap.
Yeah, if you just want to meet up in a park. like let's go.
That's a problem.
Like Tinder for 2 dudes who are just like, yo, I'm pissed and I want to fight. I had a bad day at work. Anyone want to scrap?
Hey buddy, you want to go? That's the name of the app. Want to go? ?
More people need to box and do combat.
That's what I'm saying.
Sports.
Should you allow legally?
Some states do.
Consensual fighting.
Some states do. Washington State.
That should be legal for sure.
Washington State allows mutual combat.
That's so as long as
you kill, and it should only be manslaughter if they die.
We about to get it in. Nobody jump in. This is what it is.
Yeah.
If 2 people in a bar want to fight and they both agree, whatever the consequences of this are, we're both going into it. You should be able to do that.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that.
no weapons.
Yeah, no weapons.
And then
because it could get weird.
Correct.
When somebody falls down and stays down, fight's over. Because that's
Okay,
when
stays down as
that's
well.
when
Okay.
that's when it gets. If somebody gets knocked down and then somebody comes in and like kicks them in the head, then you deal with some serious injuries.
I'm okay with that.
And there should be a weight class rule where you can deny it's illegal to try to fight someone who's way smaller than you, just to keep it fair.
Well, they would have to agree.
Well,
Yeah,
if
if we're talking
consent,
consent, there should be no, because some of the greatest stories of all time happen from David and Goliath. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanna, maybe that's why you want to get it in.
Yeah, it's a natural protection. If you're a
have that
smaller
right.
guy and a bigger guy wants to fight you, you can just be like, I don't consent to this fight, and then you can't fight him.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with this.
But if
no,
it's
no nut shots.
All right.
maybe,
Now it changes the perspective.
maybe nut shot. That's the only way I'm taking down a bigger guy. Go right for the balls like a badger.
All right. Do we prosecute somebody that accidentally kills somebody?
Manslaughter. I think manslaughter is a better charge than murder.
Yeah, if it happens during mutual combat, I don't think it can be murder.
No. If you have to agree to the consequences.
Jesus.
If you agree to fight,
yeah.
you're going into it assuming the risk.
If it's in the realm of like a normal combat, just punching each other.
So no manslaughter.
Not unless unless the guy, like you said, goes
Okay with
down
that.
for 30 seconds and then you
Because
start
we do have
beating the shit out of
we
him.
have a separate set of laws pertaining to sports. Like if you get in a fight in sports, there's cops all over the arena.
Yeah.
Anybody gonna get arrested. You know what I mean? If you break somebody's leg, you can't press charges.
Yeah, but what about wrestling? If wrestling is this just boxing, or could you do mutual combat somehow where you could use wrestling moves too? Because that would naturally mean that somebody had to be taken to the ground.
Oh,
I think
submission.
Yeah, if you go too far after a tap, you can get charged.
Okay with that.
If
Yeah.
you break somebody's arm in an arm bar and they've tapped
I would
out,
like to see that. We're talking about blood sports here, but I would like to see just the best of the best mixed martial arts.
Yeah, that's a movie.
Yeah,
It's Bloodsport.
Jack Levin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be dope. A little
That's
ring.
UFC. What?
That's like mixed martial arts. What I mean, like, all right, the best of the best jiu-jitsu dude versus the best of the best taekwondo dude.
That is literally
would
why
be
UFC
fire.
started.
No, but this
it's
is
not-
mixed. This is mixed martial arts. That is how it started with the Gracies. That's actually a very dope story about how it started. But I want to see like the best of the best from each.
Yeah, see how they fight each other.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, because Billy, it's not like UFC because the best fighters in UFC, they're not the best boxers in the world.
Yeah.
But if you were to take the best
You
boxer
want
in the world,
crossovers.
yeah, best boxer in the world against the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter in the world versus the best taekwondo fighter versus all these different
That would
styles.
actually be dope.
Yeah, it would be.
So y'all were talking about what happens if you do this, whatever. So what if we took all this money, Billy? This idea is free. We take all these billions we've given to Ukraine, and we divert that money and we establish a new job in the government. It's like an air marshal, but it's a referee for mutual combat, and we station one in every bar in America. And you go up to the federal employee ref and you say, we have agreed to fight, and he referees the combat.
Yeah, I like that.
This might take violence down a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Yeah, if you can naturally get your rage out,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea a lot, Big T. Also, I need to do more research into how the Ukraine war is being funded and all this stuff. I'm pretty sure we're sending like billions of dollars worth of military equipment over to them, right? We're not just giving Ukraine here's money.
It's
I think it's
equipment.
both.
No, I think we're giving them.
I don't think it's billions of dollars. I think it's
A lot of the money is going straight to U.S. military contractors.
Yeah, and then we're sending them ammunition for
Yeah.
their missile defense systems to protect against like missiles coming in, planes coming in. Yeah, I think I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is some money, but I think the majority of it, I've heard several occasions, people say that, and I could be wrong, but from my understanding, I think it's just a whole bunch of weapons and stuff like that.
Did
Yeah.
we see the breaking news that just happened?
What's the breaking
Yeah.
news?
Matt Ryan retired.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Zach Wilson
Oh,
just
wow.
got traded.
Oh,
To the Broncos.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I called it.
Zach Wilson to the Broncos and Matt Ryan retired.
Yeah, I saw Matt Ryan release that video. I was like, bro, you retired a year ago.
Yeah, he was in the booth.
Yeah. But he made a point when he joined CBS. He's like, I'm not retired, but
Yeah.
I'm going to call games.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Wait, so it's really Zach Wilson to the Broncos?
Yeah.
I had heard that might happen.
Diana Rossini tweeted it.
I wonder where I heard from.
Where did you hear it from?
Diana Rossini. She told me not to say anything, but she's like, yeah, this is happening.
You've held your word.
For what?
Who's Diana Rossini?
She's a former ESPN current athletic reporter. Probably disrespectful just to start out by saying where she used to work.
Yeah.
She works at the Athletic,
Yeah.
and she worked at ESPN, and then NBC.
Subconsciously, you wanted to give her a little credibility to me.
And maybe that might be the case. NBC in DC for a while too, back in the RG3 Kirk Cousins years.
By the way, just real quick,
Yeah,
the
she's also my friend.
Max is
the
enemy.
AP has falsified the claim that the U.S. is only providing equipment. They've also given billions of dollars.
The AP is falsifying the claim. Okay, where's the money going?
That's a fantastic question that I would love to know the answer to.
Falsifying claim. I need to read these bills.
I'm reading bills. It's crazy how much stuff is in these bills, and learning to read these bills, very not straightforward. Definitely takes a lot of time, and ChatGPT can't even read them.
So please, Billy,
Trust me, I've
Billy,
tried.
I am begging you to stop using these new iterations of AI to do your job.
I'm not. It's just like if you throw it all in and be like, tell me the main points of this 1,000-page bill.
But you
It
know that
seems
AI is very much an imperfect science right now.
Yeah, no.
Where
Understood.
it's not. If it tried to do that, it would give you bad information.
I know. So reading, you have to really go through
I
it
purchased, what is it called? Rabbit One? Rabbit One. Yeah, R1. So R1, it should be, I pre-ordered it, so it should be on the way in the next like month or two, actually. So I did it a while back. So this is what it is. It's this R1. It's like a pocket companion. That's what they say. So what it is, it's like your own AI. And so what it does is like it integrates, like you log into all your stuff and it integrates everything that you have, and it could like set schedules. You could be like, hey yo, call me an Uber. It knows where you at. And so call me Uber to go to Costco, and it'll do that like right away. And it, like it's just supposed to like organize your life in a.
What's it called?
R1, Rabbit One.
Is that
Rabbit.tech
is that the wearable thing?
No. There's it right here. It's like this little pocket thing that literally you just speak into. It listens to your voice and it can do anything. Like tweet out, blah 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 blah, and it'll tweet it for you.
So does it actually connect to those apps? Because I saw there was another.
You have to connect it.
There was another thing that came out the other day. Some Silicon Valley guy that is like well known in the AI circles, where you put it on your chest and it's like a little magnet and it just goes with you everywhere. And then you just say things out loud and you ask it to do stuff and it's supposed to do stuff, but it doesn't connect to anything at all. So it's actually like kind of worthless.
No, this actually connects to everything that you have. I'm gonna try it out.
I mean, now this is I've said this many times on the show, but Arian, in about 100, 200 years, you might be considered a robot slave owner.
I don't give a fuck.
I mean,
You might be considered animal slave owner.
Checkmate.
Gotcha.
Oh, but that's different, bro. He's so cute.
He loves me.
that's
That which is true. Blake loves me. Whitey loves Billy.
Bro, we are
the hedgehog?
all victims of the time.
the hedgehog.
Bro.
The hedgehog is turned into a super villain. He has one eye. He's gotten a little nasty in his old age, and like
He's in
he's a
captivity.
supervillain.
Of course he is, bro. What do you mean?
He cannot survive out of captivity.
That's exactly what slave owners said about slaves, fam.
Would your robot be able to survive outside of?
Just shut the fuck.
His face.
I'm running off of zero sleep. I have to run a campaign after being shell shocked last night, and it
You
is
was in a
stressful.
onesie diaper shit bag last night.
It was not last night. It was not last night.
I have to run a campaign. I'm shitting myself. There's a lot going on right now.
All right, we're going to get back to macrodosing in a second. It's brought to you by Steven Singer Jewelers. You better listen up. You're going to thank me. I have the world's best gift. I mean it. It's Mother's Day coming up. I just talked to my mom the other day. I'm planning on visiting her. I want to get her something good. Well, I've got just the gift. Don't wait. Don't wait to get your mom a gift.
Oh shit, Mother's Day is coming up.
Mother's Day is coming up. She loves you. You love your mom. Get her a nice gift. Everyone knows flowers, especially roses, they're the number one gift that mom wants on Mother's Day. But here's the thing. A week later, they're in the trash. They're in the garbage. They're gone. Nada. Nothing left but a memory and a credit card bill. But you want to give her a great gift that she's going to cherish forever. So here it is. You can picture it. A real long-stemmed American Beauty rose dipped in pure 24-karat gold. It's guaranteed to last forever. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go right now to IHateStevensinger.com. Click on the roses to see his entire collection of exclusive colors perfect for mom. They've got the I Love You Blush Pink or the brand new red wine. We've got the roses right here in the studio. I'm looking at it right now. It's a beautiful rose. Give your mom a great gift and get to action right now so that you can make sure that she's taken care of. The collection starts at just $59. Just $59 to get a beautiful American Beauty rose deeply dipped in pure 24-karat gold. Available at IHateStevensinger.com. Free shipping, free personalized love note, free lifetime guarantee. Steven Singer Jewelers, the most hated jeweler in America by other jewelers. That's IHateStevensinger.com. Check it out. Check it out today.
I'm so pumped that Zach Wilson is off the Jets for two reasons. One, we definitely need someone new at quarterback. Two, we have Aaron Rodgers. Two, like my take still has room to play out. He's going to get to go against.
He's going to get to go against Patrick Mahomes twice a year now.
He is elite against Patrick Mahomes, and his ceiling is now a mile higher.
There you go. There you
Just
go,
saying.
Billy. He's closer to God as a Mormon. Good for him. Good for him. The Broncos dropped their new uniforms today too.
Oh, word?
And
Look like UTEP.
no one ever likes a new uniform.
Let me check them
The
out.
best one that they had was clearly the throwback one.
Yeah, that should have just been the uniforms.
Yeah, but everybody
With
likes
the D on the head.
Yeah, pause.
I watched that clip back. That's just a pause. You're gonna want to pause there.
Oh shit!
That shit was funny, dog.
But yeah, it's an interesting trade. Zach Wilson gets to go against Russell Wilson, the new unis, and the nostalgia.
Wait, so
The nostalgia of the old uniforms. It doesn't matter what
talking
it
about
is.
these are the new ones?
No, those are the old ones, I think. But the nostalgia factor, everything when you were younger is just better. That's just how it works.
No. Food is way better now.
You think food's better?
No, by far. Maybe it's
There's
fun
more
projects. Maybe
There's more good food. Like it's more widespread. But do you
I
think
remember eating
you think-
ramen noodles. Like, man, this shit.
Well, yeah,
cool.
food's not
Well,
better.
you
You're
still
just
eat
rich
ramen
now.
Well, I mean, he said a statement. I just agree.
like do you
with it.
think an average steak from a grocery store tastes better now or tastes better?
No, I think there's actually science on this.
Yeah.
For vegetables, I can't comment.
Oh
on
no,
steaks,
they
but for
genetically
vegetables-
engineered Brussels sprouts.
Okay, so for vegetables, I know for a fact, and fruits as well. Like there's more vitamins and stuff inside of them back then than there is
Than
now.
there are today?
Yeah, I think it's like the richness of the soil and how we like process it and stuff like that.
I wonder about like
I don't know about steaks and shit. Though.
yeah, like meat, pork, beef, chicken. I wonder if it tasted better back in the day. Because
No,
whenever I watch a show that's based in medieval times, they just had a big battle and they're eating that roasted chicken. I always just think to myself, like, I bet you that chicken was so good.
Back before the USDA.
But they also didn't have salt. So then there's
Oh, it
that.
was probably ass
Yeah.
then.
But it looked
Like
good.
dry.
They make it look good in the movies.
When did
true.
salt come about?
No, salt's been around for a long time, but they used to fight wars over salt. Like
Yeah.
it was that important
Yeah.
because you could.
I find that perfectly
No,
justified.
that makes I'm surprised some of the
Spice
if we're
wars?
talking
One of the most justifiable
that's what I'm
wars,
saying,
honestly.
Yeah, like for seasoning.
yeah,
Did y'all lose that?
yeah, we
I mean,
did.
that's how America was discovered.
Salt?
We were trying to get the spices from East Asia, and we were trying to figure out another way to do it because the Ottomans controlled the Silk Road.
Yeah,
But-
they used to go back in a ship just filled with seasoning. They bring it back to Spain, and then they'd be like, "Holy shit, this is a magical place where the food doesn't taste so
Okay, I got
so
the,
ass."
The new uniforms. It does look like UTEP. What?
The white helmet's horrible.
This is dog shit.
So
The classic should be. This should be.
Yeah,
this
the
is what they-
classic looks so good.
That's insanely dope.
I don't think the jerseys are that bad, but the white helmet was really bad, and the orange jersey I didn't like very much. But the regular orange one, not the throwback.
So are they keeping the new logo or the D logo?
They're
The new
keeping
one.
the new one, But the throwback,
Oh, these uniforms are
because
bad, dog.
now in the NFL you're allowed to have I think 3 different helmets that you can wear per year.
Yeah.
It was just one.
Who all has came out with new uniforms?
I think
them shits.
it's
Come on,
the-
bro.
The Jets just came out with new ones that look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Jets new uniforms.
The Falcons redid theirs 3 or 4 years ago. They're fine.
Falcons got hit with a tampering charge.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit, dude.
What's the tampering charge?
For like talking to Kirk Cousins too early, which like every single team does.
Yeah.
I
By the
mean,
way-
if you're gonna go after them, go after every team that signed somebody within 15 minutes of free agency opening.
I think
I
that
like the
Kirk
Jets, no
Cousins
Jones.
is probably the worst person at getting away with it too. Like he's definitely not taking any steps to cover up his traces of.
Well, he
like,
admitted to it,
communications.
which
Yeah.
is how. But he said he talked to like the team trainer like a day before he was allowed to or something. It's so stupid.
So it's self-admitted Kirk Cousins being too honest.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah. He's the last. Like I said.
Like
Like
that dude on the commercial, Coach, I touched it.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's out on me. Coach.
By the way,
What are you doing? No, it's out on me.
Speaking
That kid would have gotten beaten up.
All right,
speaking
guys,
of
defense.
tampering and all that stuff, do you guys see Ryan Garcia isn't crazy and he bet on himself. He wanted to make the odds worse for himself. So he like was acting crazy that whole time just so he could bet on himself and win a ton of money and knock him out in the first round.
Do you think it was all an act?
I don't think all of it was an act. He was definitely wilding out, but like that's insane. And how is he allowed to gamble on himself?
I don't know. I don't know the rules around boxing.
Like apparently it's legal. He bet on himself to win. And I think he bet what round too.
Well, he was saying some crazy shit.
Yeah, he was saying he got kidnapped by the Illuminati and
Yeah.
they were like doing terrible things to babies in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that was him actually being super high. That guy loves weed.
And he was drinking every night before the fight, apparently, which
Yeah.
is insane. That is insane. Drinking and boxing and fight sports do not mix. It is not something you could like both do. Like they're completely non-complementary.
Yeah, Irish are pretty good at it.
Right, but you know, it's
Built
more like
different.
if you're drinking the night before the fight, your HRV is so low that it heavily impacts your ability to perform.
Yeah.
Also, 30 years ago, a Dutch scientist identified the chemicals that made Brussels sprouts bitter. He selected seed varieties with lower levels of the bitter chemicals and bred new high-yielding varieties that tasted less bitter.
So actually improved.
So I think it's a little bit of both. Yes, there's definitely less nutrients from the monocultures and, you know, pesticides and what else is it? Nitrogenized fertilizer, like destroying all of the, you know, stuff in the soil. But there has been GMOs that have started to make the food taste better.
Yo, hard pivot. Did y'all hear Aaron Rodgers what he said?
Yeah.
He said that government created AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
That's my quarterback.
To be fair, Kanye said the same thing
Yep.
a while back.
Yeah.
Damn.
Say
I think
government
they also
AIDS.
created Lyme's disease and alpha-gal.
Oh, wait, hold
too.
on. You think the government created AIDS?
No, I don't actually. I do think it was so the origins, right, is bushmeat. A European soldier eating bushmeat in World War I. That was a chimpanzee or a monkey, and that's how they got it.
I don't.
Yeah, because it's been around a lot longer than like Dr. Fauci has been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Around
so
the
I saw a
show.
part of a clip and he was talking about like Dr. Fauci and he's on the board of this and then like he just went in on
Now the real scandal with AIDS is how they ignored it for so long.
yeah.
They were just hoping it was going to go away. Then it had the stigma as being 100% gay disease,
Yeah.
and so like gay people were not. They were. It was still very much like an underground subculture, counterculture. People didn't want to, like, mainstream politicians didn't want to be associated with that.
Yeah.
So they just kind of ignored it while just like huge communities died. So they ignored it for a long ass time.
Right.
But I don't think that I don't know if there's any evidence that they did anything to help spread it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some fucked up.
Wait,
studies
so
they've
there's
done or
two
something,
types
but
of
I don't know.
HIV.
Go ahead.
Now I'm getting woke.
Because
So
there's two types?
HIV-1 and HIV-2. And I don't think is it like diabetes? Okay, they're both genetic descendants of simian immunodeficiency viruses that have been introduced to humans from non-human primates, specifically apes and old world monkeys.
Give me the layman's, bro. That's a lot for my brain to decipher right now.
What?
All that shit you just
Wait,
said.
Billy, why did that trigger like set off an alarm bell for you that there's two kinds?
HIV-1 is the result of 3 separate transfers to humans from chimpanzees, while HIV-2 is the result of at least 4 transfers to strains in the Suti Magambe, an old world monkey of Guinea-Bissau, Gabon, and Cameroon. So they don't know if they don't know where some of the strains came from. Which
based on 45 seconds of Googling.
Wait.
Okay.
So HIV-1 and HIV-2 occurred from butchering and eating bushmeat. Okay, so HIV-2 represents 3% of all HIV infections, whereas HIV group M and associated viral subtypes A through K account for about 95% of infections globally. HIV-1 is more prevalent, while HIV-2 is less pathogenic and mostly confined to West Africa. Wow.
So your conclusion is?
The U.S. government could have been monkeying around.
Okay. Also, Billy, if you want to talk about like Lyme disease in the future, just remember it's Lyme disease, not Lyme's disease. Probably make everything else you say about viruses and sicknesses sound a little bit more authoritative.
Lyme disease. We just need to kill all the deer.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. Good
Although
take.
deer meat is kind of cracking.
It is. One time in college, I made hamburger helper with venison meat.
Okay.
And it was bomb.
Yeah.
That was the best hamburger helper ever.
Kill all the deer, put them through industrialized processing centers, and then either sell the deer meat or use it to feed the homeless.
I don't know that killing all the deer is a good idea, though.
What would happen?
They have to be some kind of benefit for the ecosystem.
They do benefit the ecosystem. We just have way too many deer because we killed all their natural predators. So we need to start killing harder.
What was that thing where they like there was a vegetation that just went away in this part because they
introduced a species?
Yeah, they introduced a wolf to the species that started doing something. I don't know. And like
so the wolves killed the deer.
Yeah, it's like a chain reaction. All of a sudden, the next year, everything started growing again.
Huh.
Yeah, because they killed all the deer.
Let's see.
Yeah, the deer were overpopulated, I think.
There's way too many deer in the Northeast, at least.
They disperse seeds. They're really, really big on seed disbursement. So a deer walks through a meadow, picks up a seed, walks to another meadow, drops a seed off. Now you got roses growing where there weren't roses.
How could you not
before.
believe in God?
Then you got ticks.
Yeah.
Just stay away from the deer, B. It's not that hard.
No, I like to hang out where deer hang out.
You go to sleep with dogs, you're going to wake up with fleas.
I'm a not in my backyard guy with deer.
Yeah,
deer are great, but I'm a NIMBY. Like I don't want to see deer on my street.
I live in this. Well, I kind of live in the outskirts, but ain't no deer getting in my.
You get coyotes though.
I stay away from wildlife, so none of this shit is applicable to me.
There's tons of rabbits in my neighborhood. Tons of rabbits everywhere, which is
rabbit's good too. Oh,
it's a cute infestation.
I took one of my homegirls out to dinner. It was her birthday, and I didn't know that they just sold this shit. I had turtle.
Oh yeah. So we've actually been talking about turtle meat recently.
Okay.
Because Max when the you know Max.
Yeah, I know Max.
Max is from Philly, and he said that his dad eats turtle meat on the reg.
Shit bomb.
It's
bro.
called snapper soup.
Yeah, that's what I had.
You ate it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
They had a spin on it. It was gumbo.
Yeah.
Like so, it was like New Orleans style gumbo, and they had snapper turtle in it.
Okay.
I was skeptical. I only ordered it because I was like, y'all sell turtle? And he was like, yeah. And so I ate the turtle.
Yeah, snapper soup is a real thing. We have a tortoise in the office now, Arian. I'd like you to
saw that on one of them. I mean.
His name's Mr. Pear.
Mr. Pear?
Mr. Pear, yeah.
Who named him that?
We all did. Hank did, actually. Hank's in the studio right now. He just walked in.
Yeah.
Hank, you want to put on some cans?
Wait, snapper soup doesn't actually have snapping turtle in it.
Government coming for me?
No, this joint had actual turtle in it, dog.
What type of turtle?
I mean, she said snapper, thing said snapper. I was not that interested in what kind of turtle. I only know of one kind of turtle. The motherfucker with the shell. I'm not that into turtles, bro. Like when you tell me there's turtle in it, I don't. My brain doesn't go what origins and what's the taxonomy and.
Well, alligator snapping turtles are endangered.
It was actual. Wait, hold on. Alligator snapping turtle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Alligator snapping turtle is endangered. The common snapping turtle isn't native to the southern part of the United States. I may be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure they don't overlap in the territories with the alligator snapper.
It's definitely a thing in Philly though. All right, so we're gonna get to Hot in the Streets with Hank in a second here, and it's brought to you by our great friends over at Arian's dropping shit. Arian's breaking the studio. It's brought to you by our great friends over at 2K. The show is sponsored by Topspin 2K. You can experience the entire world of tennis in a game. The authenticity of pros from Serena and Federer to Alcaraz and Osaka. All 4 Grand Slams, a deep my career and my player experience, and the top brands in tennis apparel and equipment. It's the most accessible and fun sport. It's easy to pick up and play with basic controls, but offering deep gameplay mechanics for the hardcore player. The McEnroe VO'd Topspin Academy provides a tutorial for players of all experience levels. It's also a truly social sports experience, local and online multiplayer offerings, including the World Tour and 2K Tour, with ranked and unranked matchmaking, leaderboards, daily, weekly, monthly challenges. You can personalize your MyPlayer, create a MyPlayer tailored to your play style, and define your look on the court. With a wide range of customized options, you can fine-tune your attributes. You can earn new coaches, fittings, and gear from Adidas, Head, Lacoste, New Balance, Nike, Wilson, and more. Pick up the Deluxe and Grand Slam Edition today. Pick it up right now. Go to topspin.2k.com, topspin.2k.com. All right, Hank's Hot in the Streets. Hank brought up the Drake Kendrick Lamar beef yesterday in part of my take. And then he accused all of my knowledge about hip hop as coming from Arian Foster, for what we didn't really get to the bottom of why that might.
No, I explained it pretty thoroughly, and you actually just lied to my face because last week on PFT made a King Von reference, which I was audibly gasped and was like, I'm shocked that you didn't even know who King Von is. And then people hit me up and was like, yeah, he knows King Von because Arian brought him up on the show. To which PFT said, no, he did not.
No, that's not what I said. I said that Arian brought him up like 2.5 years ago.
It was less than a year ago, May 2023.
No, and then I started talking about King Von right as I was moving to Chicago. I started getting very interested in the lore last year and finding out all the different shit that was going on, and the history behind it. So I did my own research on King Von.
But Arian
has talked about King Von on the show in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were like, he never brought him up. That was just
no, I didn't say that. I said he brought him up like 2 or 3 years ago, which is true.
And then because I said, I'm sure you guys are caught up on the beef. And PFT was like, well, of course I am. And I was like, well, yeah, because Arian talks about it on Macrodosing. You guys talked about it on Macrodosing.
Yeah.
And then you tried to say I was racist.
I just thought it was interesting that you immediately assumed that Arian tells me everything about hip hop.
Well, no, I saw you guys on Macrodosing talking about it. That wasn't just like a safe
back Hank right here. Largely when I talk about the rap beefs on here, I'm kind of just speaking into the void, and that's okay. And the fans have even acknowledged, to me anyway, I'm like, yo, we like you talking about rap. Bring it up. And there's not a lot of banter when I talk about rap on the show. There's nothing wrong with that. We like what we like.
That's because we like to amplify Black voices and let you explain to us.
I hate you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rap explain, but no, I have gotten.
I'm the DEI hire.
I have gotten invested in the back and forth going on.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to me. We did an entire episode about rap beefs actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hank had some things to say, and I don't know what Arian's take on the Drake track that he put out, Tailor Made, on Friday. I don't know what his take is going to be. We haven't discussed that yet. I told him that you had a take that I disagree with. I'm curious to see what he says. So Hank, I'll let you tell Arian what your take on. Should we set the stage? Okay, so to set the table, there's been a lot of back and forth in the community. There's Kendrick going at Drake, Drake going at Kendrick. You've got other guys getting involved recently.
Yeah.
You had people bowing out of the back and forth beef.
J. Cole bowed out. Yeah.
J. Cole said he was trying to grow as a person, and so he did not want to put his name out there and respond to Kendrick in the fashion that he originally wanted to do. So there's been a lot of back and forth. Drake dropped a track on Friday called Tailor Made, and the song has AI versions of Tupac and Snoop Dogg as his new contribution to the beef. A lot of people are saying this is a genius play by Drake. A lot of people are saying that Drake's a corny idiot. And so, Hank, I'll let you take it from here. And then, Arian, you get to either agree with him or rebut and just hash it out.
Gotcha.
I lean on the genius side of things just because, you know, today's day and age with AI, especially Drake, like when AI came out, everyone's like, oh, this is an AI Drake song. When his first diss track came out, because it was leaked, people were like, oh, this is actually AI. Like, it was good, but everything now is like, oh, this is AI. Like, I'm sure Billy in his political campaign will be using like, that was just AI. And Kendrick Lamar, his diss track leaked, everyone hated it, but it was basically real, all but confirmed to be real. But because everyone hated it,
no, that's not true. It's AI.
It was
1,000% AI. The dude that made it came out and showed.
So maybe that's where I was wrong.
So yeah, so the dude that made it came out and showed how he made it. He had the stems of the beat, stems of the audio track. He literally was recording. He was like, "This is how I made it." He said, but this is the interesting part to me. Kendrick's people didn't reach out to him. Drake's people reached out to him though. So OVO reached out to him, was like, "Can you confirm?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I made this." But he's like, "I have heard nothing from Kendrick's people."
I thought that Kendrick made it. Everyone kind of hated it, so they backed away and kind of let the like, "This is AI" be the excuse, and that's why Drake kind of came over the top, being like, "This is literally AI," almost as kind of like a "fuck you."
Nah, see, and this
takes it away a little bit.
Yeah, so this is my take on the AI. I thought that shit was corny. I thought it was lame. On top of that, the bars didn't even hit like that. There was one bar in that entire diss track that I thought was dope. Was like he was basically saying like, nah, you gonna follow through on this one. That's dope. But other than that, like nothing really hit to me. And to me, what's going on now is Drake's treating this like he's battling Meek again, where he's like, I can just flood it with a quantity and that's gonna do the trick. But anybody that's a fan of Kendrick knows that's not how Kendrick operates. Anything that he puts out is very calculated. The quality is insane. And so he's not going to put out anything that he's not 100% stamping on it, right? So he's not going to let it leak. Nothing's going to happen like that. But the narrative I'm seeing now is that, oh, he doesn't have enough time to respond. It's over. Like, even if he comes out with something now. And to me, that's just like such an encapsulation of where we're at as a society. Like, if he doesn't, like, why are we putting a shot clock on art? Like, imagine sitting behind Van Gogh talking about some, "Dog, you better hurry up. This shit about to be trash if you don't drop this by Thursday." Like, I don't understand that. And so for me as a hip hop consumer, some would say, as a consumer, I'm from the era where diss tracks used to be on albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay-Z dropped Takeover. Months later into the year, 6-7 months later into the year, Nas comes out with an album, drops Ether, right? That's the era I'm from. I could wait. Give me the quality. Now, if you're going to sit here and argue with me and say that Drake's new AI song is going to age as well as his first diss, we just live in a different reality. His first diss is a solid diss. And the more I run it back, the more I like it, the more dope it is to me. I think it's a very solid diss, and I think it's a great intro to this beef. But that second, to me, this is just my opinion now. This is conjecture. I feel like it's now to the point where Drake is getting kind of like desperate, where he's like provoking him to respond. You can't provoke Kendrick to respond how you want to respond because you have a little game plan and it's not going to your game plan. Now everybody's like, "Oh, Drake's up." I don't see it as that. Drake struck after he was prodded. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't see how he's up because you have nothing to compare it to. If you're comparing Drake's diss track to to Kendrick's initial, like, "What's up?" I don't see how that could be the case. Once Kendrick lays a diss track, then to me, that's when you make the comparison. All right, like, let's see who's up. This constantly throwing diss tracks out, especially with the low quality of the last one, I don't see that.
I'm not even really a Drake. Like, I like his music, but I'm definitely not a Drake, stan or advocate. I don't defend him at all costs. I'm much more, Kendrick Lamar, Future, Metro. Like, if I had to pick everyone else versus Drake, I'd probably pick everyone else. But I do think there's something to the fact that it is Drake versus everyone.
See, and that's the narrative he wants you to run with.
He is. It is, though.
It is not that, because
Kanye's now back on their side.
Kanye, just don't listen.
They're just pulling Rick Ross. Like, it's everyone.
But it's not
Drake.
them. But it's not them. This is This is the problem I have with Drake fans and Drake in general, because that's the narrative he wants you to believe. So he wants you to think it's just everybody just came at me. Dog, Drake has been dissing everybody for years. And so Kendrick says, I'm at you. And then that gives everybody else the goal to be like, I'm at you. And Rick Ross never said anything to Drake. And what he did was he unfollowed him on Instagram. And because he sent French Montana a cease and desist letter. And so that made Drake mad enough to say something about Rick Ross. So Rick Ross shot back. So this is what I'm saying. It's not Drake versus everybody, bro. It's Drake always subbing people, and people are like, no, now they just hitting back. So it's not like this narrative that like he's just this poor picked on Thanos. It's just, I hate that narrative because it's just not the case. Drake been subbing Kendrick for years. Marcellus Wiley confirmed this, right? Marcellus Wiley confirmed
ESPN
this.
guy?
ESPN guy. Drake went on a press one for when Nothing Was the Same was coming out. All right. So to rewind it back a little bit before that, Kendrick dropped a verse on this song called Control, where he was like, I'm coming at all y'all. Like, and he named every rapper in the game, including Drake. Every rapper that he named was like, nah, that's what's up. Like, it's just friendly competition. Like, yeah, he's coming at me, but like, that's what we're supposed to do. Drake took that personally, and his press run for his album release became about answering questions about Kendrick Lamar. He took that personally. He went on Sports Nation with Marcellus Wiley, and he went hard on Kendrick. Marcellus Wiley he had a book about it, and he just went on Vlad TV talking about it. Drake then called Sports Nation and said, don't air that interview or else I'm not doing ESPYs, which is like, stand on business if that's how you feel. But regardless of that, so Drake and Kendrick have been subbing each other back and forth for years. Kendrick finally just pulled the trigger, was like, let's go. So now Drake fans are like, oh, this came out of nowhere. It hasn't came out of nowhere. This has been brewing for years. And even Drake admits that. He said that little diss y'all had did not start the beef with us. He admits that because it's been going back for years. So the narrative of it's 20v1, which Drake is doing, because it's a good chess move in my opinion, because the public narrative is, oh, all y'all ganging up on him. Well, that's not the case, because even Kendrick on his verse on Take That, he goes, oh, y'all clicking up, huh? Because it was Drake and Cole was talking shit about Kendrick. So he's changed the narrative in public opinion when that is not the case. And that's why I say take all that shit out of it. Drake, you can respond to whoever you want to respond to. Who's the main? What's the main event? Who do we come to see? We came to see Drake and Kendrick. Keep it there. If you want to make it a 20v1, ain't nobody getting touched. If you want to make it a 20v1, that's on you. Ain't nobody. You didn't have to respond to Metro. He don't rap. You don't have to respond to Ja Morant. He's a basketball player. You don't have to respond to any of these motherfuckers except for the one that you know that can go toe to toe with you with a pen.
How long do you, like, obviously what you said is true about, like, you know, back in the day you had more time. We're not back in the day. Like, how long do you think it's fair to wait for Kendrick? Like, at some point he has to respond, and it can't be like
I would be surprised. I would be surprised if by the end of this month or the beginning of next month he's not responded. But my thing about that, even then, like, this Drake has this like,
he's got a bear.
He's got like this Karen attitude. He's definitely that I can't stand, bro. He's just this Karen attitude where it's like, when Meek and him was battling, right? It was like he put out that first diss track, it was a dud, and then 4 days later he put out Back to Back, which is to me a classic diss record in hip hop. Amazing, dope, right? And he even had a line to say, I waited 4 days. I'm like, where y'all at? So even by Drake's standards, he didn't follow through on Kendrick's because Kendrick came out with Like That March 16th. Drake didn't March 22nd. Drake didn't come back until April 16th. So it was like 25 days. So even by your standards, you was late to the party. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're not giving Kendrick the same leniency that you gave yourself. That's why Drake did, it should be rubbing me the wrong way. And like I said, I'm a fan of Drake. I got a bunch of his shit on my playlist. I just think the way he moves sometimes is a little like victim-y.
He's kind of like the Taylor Swift of rap.
Well, he's super online. Like, he definitely plays. Like, he sees how people are feeling, and if it's like people are feeling him, he'll play into it and like do the memes and shit. And if people are against him, 100%. He'll go silent.
And that's his whole shtick, and it's like the difference in artistry and why this battle's so interesting to me, because Kendrick is like, he's a conceptual artist. He likes albums that are conceptual. They tell stories. He won a Pulitzer for the story that he told on Damn. Like, he's a different kind of artist. Where Drake is like, his whole thing is, which I'm not knocking, I'm just saying the difference is, his whole thing is he cares about public perception, relevancy, and charts. So much so it's like every one of his albums has like a newer artist with a newer subset of genres that he likes to bring up. A lot of people are like, oh, you like to bring them up. I understand that, but I look at more as like, you like to stay relevant with the young folks. Where Kendrick is like, I'm doing this to like make my art the best possible. And like those are two very different kind of artists. So when they collide, that's why it's so interesting to me. So Drake is using his new age tactics of trolling, of captioning stuff, posting shit online, where Kendrick is like sitting in the cut saying, I'm gonna make a great diss record. That's interesting to me.
AI Tupac is just a weird move to me.
Shit whack as hell.
It's a really weird move.
That shit was whack as shit. And the bars was whack.
All right, bye, Hank.
Appreciate the chop it up. You're the most knowledgeable hip hop guy in this room, aside from me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It was fun to have a little banter with hip hop.
Hank thought I learned all my King Von shit from you, but I was dropping names of songs that you've never mentioned on here, and he was like, "Where'd you even hear that?"
You knew about King Von, I will say that.
King Von is the story behind King Von is just incredible.
It's wild, yeah. It's wild. You still ain't been to Oblak?
No.
They're raising the rents. Did you see that?
Of course, that gentrifies. It's the way to do it. Get them up out of there.
PFD, remember when we were rolling through Memphis in a camo wrapped truck after young Dolph had gotten shot?
Yeah.
I thought I got mixed up. I was like, that's when we were researching why it was so bad we were rolling through Memphis in a camo wrapped truck.
Yeah. We didn't want the ops to see us.
The ops.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so wild. I just we almost got carjacked in Memphis.
That was a very, very dicey gas station that we were in, and it was not safe. It was not safe for anybody that was in there.
Yeah, there's certain parts of the country.
There was a dude.
It was also the time that we were in there because it was in the middle of an ice storm where there was like no power in Memphis.
Oh.
This is like the one place that had power. And it was late at night, and it was it was just real sketchy. A lot of
dude. There was this
apocalypse
dude who was
vibes.
standing behind PFD while PFD was trying to check out, just going, "Pussy boy, I'm gonna rob your ass." Do you remember this?
I think he said something. I don't think that's what he said to me.
No, he was saying bitch made, bitch, and he was trying to hype himself up to rob you. Yeah, we gotta call Bubba to recount this story because
I forget exactly but it was something along those lines. And my mindset was just like, I'm gonna keep my head down, act like he's not saying that to me, get my thing, and then just go immediately to the truck and drive away as fast as we can.
And then when we
smart move.
Yeah,
dude,
I didn't want to look at who was saying it. I didn't want to.
Dude, that was so wild because once we pulled up, everyone who's at the guys just popped on their phones, and then as we were pulling out, a car full of dudes just pull up, mad crazy, looking to get it sounded like there was a coordination once they saw us roll up to the gas station that we got a easy target, and then all these dudes pulled up as soon as we pulled out. That was terrifying.
My theory is that they saw Billy in his camo cargo pants, and they're like, this guy definitely has a gun on him. They thought Billy had a rifle in the back.
Imagine getting to him. Oh, my God. That is one of those, sliding doors moments that could have gone so badly.
That's all right. We made it. We made it. We know
we hit the...
We know how to handle ourselves.
Then we just hit the Bass Pro Shop pyramid and, got pretty hammered because we were so damn stressed.
All right. Anything else we want to get into today?
I do want to clarify it because I get a lot of people coming at me with the Drake Kendrick thing. I always say this. I absolutely favor Kendrick more artistically than Drake, but that doesn't mean I don't like Drake and his music. I think that they're entirely two different artists, and so public opinion's not going to sway me. So if Drake keeps dropping diss tracks, that doesn't sway me from this battle. I don't think it's quantity. So the more diss tracks you drop means you win. I don't think that's the case, and because I don't think that's the case, people think I'm just siding with Kendrick just because. I don't think that's the case. Because I admit that Drake diss track response is a solid start to this beef. It's a solid response. It's solid. I fuck with it. It's heavy. I've listened to it. I've listened to it for research purposes to see what he talking about, and then just on the range I had it on. You know what I'm saying? Because Drake now put that on streaming services, and so I'm a fan of the art. And so the reason why I don't like Antics, which I think that AI shit was, it was just the antic, was because I know Drake's a better artist than that. And so to me, you're trying to pull cheap shots to sway public opinion, and you will do that, but you're not gonna do that with me, because like I don't go off of like what people feeling. I go off of like I actually analyze the lyrics, I analyze the production quality, I analyze all of that to make my decision. I'm not saying I'm holier than thou than people that listen to hip hop, but that's just how I consume music, and that's why I don't like microwaved music. And so to me, that AI shit just seemed very microwaved. It was very like, hey, we gotta stay on him because we're starting to sway public opinion. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's how Drake moves in his career. His career and his career path has been largely built off of the blueprint of how can we stay relevant in the public eye.
What was Snoop Dogg's reaction to being on the AI track?
From my understanding, he didn't really say he did an Instagram post, and I looked at Snoop's IG, bro. And I fuck with the big homie. I met him a couple times. He was on my earlier podcast. It was a great conversation. My dog has 60,000 IG posts.
That's a fuckload.
Dog, 60,000. I don't know to do that math, but like since IG has been around.
Yeah, you think he does it all himself?
I don't know. That's a lot though. But I went to go check to see what he said about it. And he was just like, they did what? They did who? They did how?
Yeah.
He said, man, I'm going back to bed. That's all I've heard him say about it. I'm sure Snoop is the Rap Shack. He will sell anything. And so like you would forget that he was a gangbanger from Long Beach in South Central. You would forget that because of how marketed and branded he marketed and branded himself over the course of his career.
He's done a great job.
He's probably the most well-known rapper of all time. You can make that argument, and I don't see how you would make an argument any other way.
Also,
all time.
60,000 Instagram posts. If you got it right when Instagram started, is on average 14 Instagram posts a day.
That's insane.
And I know he wasn't, and I know he didn't jump on IG the first day and just start posting 14. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that means there are days that there have been 100
easily.
Imagine how many pictures he takes.
That's what I'm
saying. Over the course of any day.
That's what I'm saying. I had one of my like proud moments, like as a not proud, but just like a dope moment for me, like as an adult, for my kid's self, was Snoop posted me and him on his IG.
You felt really good about that.
Yeah, I was like dope. And then like I went back 4 months later to try to find it to show somebody. Like, yeah, Snoop posted me. He's like, well, I was like, yeah, I was in the studio with him. And I'm scrolling. I'm like, God damn, dog, where the fuck did he delete it? But nah, it was just buried under all this shit. I was like, damn, because he be posting memes and like all kind. He was like he's like an
aggregate,
like a shade room type vibe. You know what I'm saying?
He's like Barstool Sports' Instagram.
Exactly, but he'll do selfies and he'll talk to the people when he's releasing stuff and all that stuff. So I'm like, is it him? And then when I was there, he was like, he had like an I think at the time, this was like 2017. So he had like, I don't know, it was like a very early version of an iPhone. I was like, dog, you got to get a new phone, man. He's like, why? What's wrong with this one? I was like, Nick, like, this shit is old, bro. Like, this shit is an old ass phone. He's like, okay, bet. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna appreciate it.
I bet he's got somebody that posts the memes and shit like that.
It has to.
And then he does obviously like
his own stuff.
Yeah, but it's like, hey, just put funny videos and shit on
has
my feed.
Has to be.
So when you get the notification that like Snoop Dogg has posted about you or tagged you, when you went to it the first time, was it the first one on his feed, or did you even have to scroll back past a couple?
I saved it on mine, so I have I maybe have 20 things saved. Either like hilariously funny to me that I will laugh every time I watch it, or like something that I thought was like really dope.
You do have a deep collection of memes.
That's in my personal photos. Yeah. I have over 1,000. I call myself the meme guy.
Arian's a menace in the group chat. Menace.
I would love to see that folder because you've got everything.
I do. I do collect memes.
Clip.
I do.
Some crazy
memes.
meme for.
But I say all that to say, I am not like a Kendrick like stan like that. I think Kendrick's a better artist. I will listen to Kendrick before Drake, but that doesn't mean I don't like Drake. Right? It's just I prefer him artistically. But with this beef comes, I'm a fan of the art, like 100%. And I think that this is going to be a dope battle, but I think y'all got to take y'all contemporary entitlement of how you consume media out of this, because they're two different type of artists. If you go to and this is why a lot of people I think don't like Kendrick's music. If you go to a Kendrick album thinking, I want to hear some good vibes in the background while I'm working out, or playing a club, it's not for you. So you can't. So I don't go into Drake's albums thinking I'm gonna hear some introspective, socially conscious, like deep stuff that I'm just gonna like. I don't go into. So it's like when you read books, you have to taper your expectations about what the book is about. That's what art is to me. And so I don't think people normally have the nuance to understand that. And so when you're dealing with like two artists that are like battling with the complexities of this, I think people like use their biases into this battle, and I don't think you can. So like, I'm not judging the battle by how fast Kendrick puts out a diss track, because Kendrick has never put out anything fast, and that's a slight to people that like bang for Drake. They're like, oh well, you got to do it. Like I waited for a day. Like that's what it's not what it is. Because like if you know Kendrick at all, like why would he do that? Why would he jeopardize his catalog in order to acquiesce to a situation that he started, which is the funny thing. Like I think he's very calculated in what he does. Just like I'm not gonna go to Drake's. Like when Drake released that track, I was kind of disappointed because I was like, I know what you're doing this for. Like you're the internet guy that's gonna troll and like, but you don't have to do that. Like you don't have to do that here, because I feel like Drake does care about the art, and if you care about the art, like you shouldn't have to resort to those tactics, because they're just cheap, and that's not gonna age well.
It's a risky run when you're the type of person that Drake is, when you are so in tune with the internet and stuff that you run the risk of putting out something that's not going to be anything that you would even probably stand on like a year or two from now.
Yeah, and
like Drake might listen to that 2 years from now and be like, yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
but a guy like Kendrick who would take his time, is more concerned with the art, would be somebody that would put something out there that he was proud of.
Yeah.
That he put a lot of time into. It also felt like Drake didn't put that much time into it.
Yeah.
When you're doing
you can absolutely tell.
When you're doing like an AI, you're using AI voices, it's like, okay, you're selling me the sizzle, not the steak on this.
And see, that's and to get even deeper to back that point, you don't even believe in the AI stuff. Like you're not a proponent of that being a part of the art form. So much so is like, I don't know if you remember that Weeknd and Drake AI song that sent shockwaves. BBC was writing articles about it. Drake's people had them take that down.
Yeah.
Because it sounded so much like Drake. And so it's like, you don't even believe that belongs in the art form that you exist in, but you use it as a tactic.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
contribute to
it. And so it's like
Kendrick's got more integrity.
I don't want to say, I do think that. I think he has more integrity to his art.
Yeah.
Where Drake is like, and like I said, I don't mind how Drake's going about it. He's made a beautiful life for himself and his family, and that's dope. I will always be a fan of that. But I just look at it from like an artistic standpoint. Like I create art, and maybe I'm a little bit more biased when it comes to that, because like the art side of this thing to me should never be compromised. I'm always a proponent of, I think money ruins art. And so I think that's the beautiful thing that Kendrick, and if you listen to him, and because I listen to Kendrick and I listen to Drake, and I listen and watch both of their interviews because they're some of the biggest artists of our generation. Their goals are different. Drake wants to stay around. Kendrick wants his music to stay around. And those are two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think and maybe that's me, my criticism of Drake is more so me like wanting better from him. Because I know he's such a good artist, dog.
I think it more applies to like who you are, how you consume music, and how you identify. Like obviously you identify more closely with Kendrick, but I know people that would identify way more closely with Drake and what he's all about. And all those people are the ones being like, Drake did it again. Yeah. Let's go Drizzy. Yeah. You know, like it's a very personal thing.
Yeah,
that can vary. So like
100%. You
can have these criticisms, but at the end of the day, be like, I understand that other people are gonna have different opinions about it.
Yeah, and that's why I mean, barbershop conversations happen like this shit all the time, right? Yeah. When top fives, people get into like, you know, I lost my voice because I was talking shit to one of the homies about this shit. But I think like I said, at the end of the day, I want Drake to be the best Drake he could possibly be in this battle, because that makes for a great spar. You know what I'm saying? And to me, AI Drake ain't the best Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Like these tactics ain't the best Drake. So it's like it's it was very cheap to me. But like I said, if you like Drake, you'll like that shit. So
there you go. All right. Well, good episode today, guys. What do we want to talk about on Wednesday for Thursday's show?
Oh yeah. I don't know, man.
All right, we'll talk.
What were we
discuss.
gonna do that we never did?
Should we do something like, I don't know, NFL draft themed?
Because it's coming out on Thursday.
Draft bust.
You still got Costner's number? Get him on the show.
Yeah.
I don't have Kev's number on. I never got his. I only got Chad's.
Oh. Merch drop.
Huh?
BillCotterForCongress.com.
Oh, geez.
We got merch now.
All right, check it out.
Please.
Thanks,
I
Bill.
need to pay these legal bills.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.